Oh, hi everyone, and welcome, as we're going to sit and discuss things about Season 2. Lots to do and lots to discuss. I want to make changes, I want to lean further into my brand, and I want to continue to ensure that the channel is all about supporting people, rather than profit or anything else like that. So, with that in mind, let's talk stuff. Before we go into it though, let's first of all, let's go for social links there. Is my chat working? I don't think my chat's working. Oh boy, my chat's not working. If you've been sitting in chat talking to me and I haven't said a damn word, I apologize. Hopefully chat will be working now. I'm seeing Nightbot now, so I'm sorry if you've been sitting there trying to talk to me and I haven't been saying a word. My bad. Hey, Prax, Michael Wayne, I see you guys. Potato Hollow, welcome. The Nightbot worked? Oh, it didn't work for me. I put my chat in and nothing came up, and that's the first I knew that I couldn't see you guys. So, there's the social links, thank you very much. You can check out the Discord, the Twitter, and the YouTube. I've still got a few spaces over Christmas, so, you know, come and check that out. Maybe refresh? No, I don't do that. I, have it on, pop out, so I have to close it and go and pop it out again. Sheena, welcome. So on top of the social links, we also have our Patreon. Head on over and check out our Patreon. I'll be uploading another article by Renee very soon. In the meantime, by the way, with the music today, by the way, hey Tay, what I'm doing the music, I'm listening to all the different tracks in the epic section in Roll20 because I don't feel familiar enough with them. So one of the things that's something that I do when I'm DMing is I like to pick songs on the fly. I truly am a no prep DM. I like to pick things as they become relevant, you know? So I'm just listening to some of the stuff in the epic section because I know it's going to be impactful. So I'm going there. Michael Wayne, that's not really how I work. I probably won't come to you for a question, to have a game. Because I generally have a lot of people coming to me. I do reach out to people, I do. But, especially if you've already been on the channel, I won't try and pressure you into coming back. I really need you to reach back to me. So if you want a game, just let me know and I'll get you a game, okay? That's how that works. I don't know how you can manage that. Yeah, we're all born with different powers. That one was mine. What else do we have on top of the Patreon? We have merch. With the merch, go ahead and check out Robot25 as a code. It'll give you 25% discount store-wide, so check that out as well. What else have we got? We've got our sponsors, Bird in the Storm Publishing. They're going to be bringing some content to us in the new year. Ooh, this is nice. Arcane. I message Scrap constantly when I get a game. Yeah, exactly. And guess what? I get Potato Hollow a game. He's got 2 coming over Christmas. That's the way I work, you know? Constantly. Yeah. What else do we have? Oh yeah, we've got Mage Hand Press as well. Mage Hand Press. There's going to be an exciting reveal about Mage Hand Press's Dark Matter next season, as they're going to continue their sponsorship, which means, yes, there will be another Dark Matter game. Will it still be Argo 37? You'll have to find out after Thursday. Message Scrap relentlessly. Scrap doesn't mind. Scrap gets messages relentlessly anyway, you know? So, you know, you're not going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back. I'm the backless camel. There is also a tweet out. If you go and retweet the tweet, absolutely nothing's going to happen. But I'll very much appreciate the support. Very, very much appreciate the support. So yeah, but yes, there's going to be more Dark Matter. There's going to be more Dark Matter. So that's fun. I haven't pinned that window on top. That's why I'm not seeing it. There we go. I really like this. This is sort of like a almost jungly action sort of tune. I need to bear this in mind. But people in chat, I see your lovely faces. I've seen you all here. What do we think of the finales today? Eberron and the jury. Guys, it's been a hell of a thing, right? Are you really doing a Die Hard of Muppets Christmas Carol roleplay? Now, Monocled Moose, if you've been around for a while, let's say, oh, maybe a year, you'll know that I did a Die Hard one-shot last year. And I'll be doing it again. The jury gutted me. Yeah. The jury was... that sure was something. And, yeah, sorry, I don't have a followage command or anything like that. I just use Nightbot. It's not a very deep bot. Apparently there's a way I can access Streamlabs Ankbot or something, but honestly, it's one of them weird things in streaming where, like, the stuff is sort of almost going out of date in the same time as using it. I'm just going to tilt the camera this way a little bit because I don't like how I'm cutting off over there. The streams, the information for streams is going out of date as you're reading it, sort of thing. So I'm reading all this stuff about Ankbot and stuff, and I'm like, oh great, well I'll just go and get Ankbot then, and Ankbot will be able to tell me how long people have been in chat and all of this sort of stuff, and I'll be able to select VIPs based on who has the most viewage per week and that sort of thing. I went and checked out Ankbot, and it's like, oh, Ankbot has now been absorbed by Streamlabs. I'm like, oh, okay. How do I access Streamlabs chat? I don't know. I should go and watch more YouTube videos, but as you guys know, I spend all my time streaming instead. Like, I'm sitting right here streaming right now, you know. Yeah. That's the only thing about listening to random epic tunes, though, is I haven't balanced the sound. So I might have to do a bit of, like, music balancing. You just let me know if a track comes on and it's a little bit too loud. That'd be great. That would be great. Yeah, the jury was epic. And Eberron as well, like, for a lead into Season 2. Are you guys hyped for Season 2? I hope so. Kai Hawkeye, welcome in. How you doing, bud? Another man on my list of people to get a game. I need to get you another game. Ooh, actually, I might send you a DM right now. You guys won't mind if I send a DM while we're just chatting, right? I can work and work at the same time, right? I can double up on the work, yeah? You guys don't mind that, right? I might just do a little accounting. I might just do a little bit of accounting while we're sitting and chatting. Is that okay? I'll just do a little accounting. Just finished some Skyrim. Nice. I made Jay cry and feel bad about it. It wasn't just you either, Alice. Yes, you made Jay cry, which is... But also, it was a stunning performance by Ash as well. If Ash hadn't performed the way she did, there would have been no tears, and that was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Oh, Monocle Moose, go back and watch it. Go back and watch it. It was great. No worries. Skyrim. Ash was a badass. She really was. Like, channeling her dad, she said at the end. Oh, hey, look, there's a little bit of green over there. You just caught the end of my green screen. Do you see it? See it on there? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I should just drag it a little more this way, just so you guys don't have to see that obscenity. Don't have to see it. It was so good, Alice. So good. Okay, so let's see. You're Kai Hawkeye on, like, the social medias, right? Yeah, you are. Hey, I see you. There you go, Kai. I've not put any butter around it. I've just asked you the question straight out. All these legendary DMs are so humble. That is the best way to be. You'd think we were arses if we weren't humble. And yeah, we've got some stuff to bring you guys next year, you know. It's going to be amazing. I'm waiting until all the posters are released to talk about it. I did do that little leak in Discord the other day, and if you missed it, you missed it. If you missed it, you missed it. It's... Yeah. Prax, I'm going to just pretend you didn't say anything about that. I'm going to hide. First time on stream playing will be during your Christmas. That is amazing. When is that, Mr. Moose? Let's have a little looky here. When do I have monocled Moose down on my sheets here? I'll find you. During our 12 days of Christmas. You in diary number 2? Huh. I know I've seen you today, because I just made a note next to your name. Because I was going through and checking for all the people that I needed to check back in on to make sure that they were available, because we left it that I would check back in with you. There you are, 25th! Christmas Day. Perfect. Yeah. Oh yeah, I found you. I found you. I'll probably do it the same way I do everything, though, to be honest. I'll just do, like, no prep. I'll just, like, run. I'll die, but it'll be fine. Yeah. My first stream playing will be on New Year's Eve day. So excited for it. All told, like, to villain, my character will probably be the first to die. Let's just check who your DM is. Oh no, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be just fine. I wouldn't worry about it. But yeah. Oh, we've got so many games around Christmas. So many games. It's going to be a whole thing. After this week, after Thursday, well, after Friday, actually, because we're doing the Greyhawk channel as well. After Friday, I think I'll probably do a just chat like this. I'll probably pull Alice in. We'll come in like... Well, actually, I'll probably pull Alice in on a second cam. And, we'll have another just chat like this with you guys. And, yeah, we'll wish you all a Merry Christmas, then we're going to take our holiday, and then we're back on the 23rd, and from the 23rd till the 4th, things get real, you know? Each one is worth watching. Thank you. Thank you. I should probably find out when I'm DMing over Christmas. Well, yeah. Also, kitties. Always kitties. I'm not sure where our kitty is at the minute. She's been real. Essentially, she was a cat that used to be allowed outside when we lived out in the country, and now we live right by a busy road. She's not allowed out, so she's going stir crazy. And it's not her fault, it's not our fault, but we're trying to teach her healthy ways of exerting her energy. And, so yeah, she spends a lot of time in timeout. Oh, hey! Welcome, alumni! I should pull that up front so you guys can actually see it. That'd be a nice thing to do, right? There you go. And then you guys are... Oh. Well, now I can see the name, I automatically gonna ban you, because that's a shitty name. Why you have to be shitty? Unless... Sheena, can you do it for me? Can you do that for me real quick? Sheena's like the best mod in the world. Sheena is amazing. I am so grateful for Sheena. Cats being the usual lazy ass. When do the Christmas festivities start? I need to make sure I have you at the top of my host list. Oh, Faranox, thank you. Faranox, another name that's on my list. This is like Santa's Christmas list, it feels like. We just started a group chat today, right? 23rd. You are the second game in the festivities. You were the second game. Right, so you couldn't see it. I'll have to put up Streamlabs then and block manually. Can I do it through Streamlabs? No. ban. Essentially, it's another thing about glorifying sexual abuse. Guys, if you want to do that, take your sorry ass somewhere else. This is a safe society. Yeah, no, sorry, bud. You just about got a comment in there. Just about got a comment in there. Just as I banned you. Just as I banned you. Nope, sorry. No class whatsoever. And this is the thing, you know, if you want to be a troll, there are some amazing ways to be a troll, okay? And there are some people that do this especially well. And one of my favorites was a guy I haven't seen on the show for a while, okay? But it's a guy called Romania Hate, okay? Rom. He was one of the best trolls, okay? Because what he used to do... Oh no, Sheena, it's fine. It's fine. I've got it. I was just being totally lazy. Sheena's amazing. I'm so sorry. But Rom, he was such a good troll that he knew exactly where the line was, you know? He could do it in a way that was funny, but not just stupidly offensive for the sake of being offensive, you know? He always towed that line, you know? So that he would never be banned, because it was never a bannable offense, but he knew exactly where that line was, so that he would know exactly where to sit on it, so that he'd never get banned, sort of thing. And so I made him a mod. Because if you know where the line is, that clearly, you know, evidently you're going to be a good mod. And he was. Every time someone like that came in or anything like that, he used to just straight away be like, banned. Witty always better than pure class. I saw Madame Gandalf talking about this the other day. You might have been in her chat. Madame Gandalf, if you guys don't know Madame Gandalf, I think she might even be live now. She's amazing. She must be pushing for partner at the minute. Go and check her out. She's amazing. But she was talking about a guy whose name was Alpha. Yep. Kenny 1. So I'll put it in chat for you. She's the reason I found you guys. Oh, great. Great. So yeah, Alpha Kenny 1. Alpha Kenny 1. See? Clever. That's clever. That is knowing exactly where that line is, okay? That is right on the line of acceptable, okay? When you just make a name that's just a funny way of saying, you know, debasing someone or glorifying sexual assault or rape or anything like that, well, that's not cool. Quite frankly, you can just fuck off. This is a safe, inclusive space. Someone actually made that name and Kent gave it a sub. That is top quality banter. That is top quality banter. Brilliant. That's knowing exactly where the line is. That's good trolling. I also would have given them a I also probably would have then made them a mod as well, because if they weren't already a mod, you know, just because that's top quality. Anyway, what was we supposed to be talking about? We were supposed to be talking about all sorts of things. I've got a little bit of an agenda. We've talked a little bit about the jury and stuff today. There was a lot of feels in that. I know this one. I've heard it a lot, but I don't know the name of it. This is Constancy Part 2. Constancy Part 2. Driving sort of background dreary. Okay. Good to remember. So many feels. And the whole action, like going from the feels of the jury to the action of Eberron was just amazing. Just amazing, you know? It was great. Middle knuckle rap, 37. Oh, hi. I missed it. Gem song, it will be on the YouTube. It's already in the VODs. I'll tell you what, since I'm like sort of half working and half talking to you guys, what I'll do right now is I'll add it to the collection and everything so you can find it easy. Because it was so good. And you guys can help me write the blurb for it as well, because I always struggle with that. One of you guys can help me write the blurb. We'll start off with the jury. The first thing I do is I go and get the art so that it looks pretty. It's in that folder because I organized it all into folders. Next season I'll be doing the same. You can crop that there. Now what do we put down as the blurb? So many fields. It's time for the final showdown with the interlopers in our minds, and we are taking it all the way to the wall. So many fields. It's time for the final showdown with the interlopers in our minds, and we are taking it all the way to the wall. Right down its throat. Beautiful. That'll do. So that is now available in the VODs. Oh! That right there! That's the only thing I wish we had on Roll20, because I've put all these in Roll20. I wish we had a clock on it, so I could see what time that lead-in came in. Because that would be an amazing thing to use, you know? We've just completed a campaign, we've just won, we've just beat the final boss. That's what that says to me. You know? That was awesome. Charlie is the Wild Magic Weaver. She is amazing. Did Talia come in here? Oh, Talia. Well, we were just talking about the jury. Okay, everyone, we're going to stop talking spoilers about the jury. We don't want to spoil it for Kelly. That would be awful. Kelly, welcome in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And Space Pirate Games, thank you for highlighting. I missed that in chat somehow. Charlie is magic, though. Plain and simple. Watching Lauren fly to Vesh to play disappointed mum to Vesh was amazing. Yeah. Absolutely amazing. This would have been great music post Laser Shark. That's exactly what I'm doing. If you've just tuned in, the reason we're listening, that the music might seem a bit weird. I've put everything in the I've put everything from the epic category in Incompetech into a playlist in Roll20. I've pressed shuffle, and when I hear things like that are like, I'm just taking a look, I'm logging the name back here somewhere, and I'll use it later on for my improv streaming. What, if any, video editing software do you use for your YouTube videos? Well, no. I use the back end of Twitch. I just export it right across, and then I publish it. I just delay it by a few days. So that my YouTube's got constant content coming out. Essentially, it's all about algorithms or something like that. Okay, now this is going to be like the layman trying to explain this because I don't understand the science behind it. But I'm told that the algorithms behind YouTube will hide your content if you post too much at once. So if you dump 10 videos at once, or as I probably would, 3 videos at once a day, they're not likely to get seen, right? But if you do like one at one point in the day and one at another point in the day, so I do mine at 4 a.m. EST and 8 a.m. EST, which happens to be 8 p.m. 8 p.m. American time and 8 p.m. UK time. Okay, so it's first thing in the morning for the UK, first thing in the morning for America every day. You're more chance of getting views. And Potato, I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you to all of you guys in chat who come here and hang out with me all the time. Justin, welcome. Thank you, especially those people who go and like watch the YouTube videos, click on the like button on the YouTube videos, and my metrics on YouTube are great. Thank you. Since I've started like tweeting about it and doing that, it's been great. Fantastic. Thank you so much. And even better if you're going on the Patreon and liking things on the Patreon. Even if you can't subscribe to things, when you like an article, I'd still appreciate a like, because I'll use that as a metric.
Looks like we got a new friend.
Hey, Almighty Tales, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for the host, and take a seat. YouTube is how I got so invested in trying the other shows. Cool. Welcome back, Ite. Yeah, it's a real wonderful thing. It is a real wonderful thing, the YouTube. And, yeah. And, yeah, but that is a metric that I'll use. I'm an engineer at heart, so I love to, go and dig in, okay? I like to go and dig into the details and find out what's working and what's not. And, ooh. You mean to tell me that the Hall of the Mountain King isn't copyrighted? This has been sourced from a public library. Or a public domain, at least. Oh boy. I know all of the cues to this song off the top of my head. I could monologue the fuck out of this. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh. Whew. Awesome. Good night, Prax. Sorry, I got really excited about the Hall of the Mountain King. The Mountain King is out of copyright, but individual performances might be. Well, this is from Incompetech, so everything's sourced from the public domain. On the Creative Commons. Yes, have you heard the metal version? Epica do an amazing version of this. Oh. Hey, the Pale Lord, welcome. Another one that is, public domain is, the Moonlight Sonata. Mozart's Moonlight Sonata. Yeah, I understand that. But they've changed it, you know? That's the whole thing about copyright, isn't it? Is that as long as you change something, I think, so it's 7 iterations different from the original copyrighted thing, then you're okay in copyright, you know? There's like some sort of copyright law about that. What about Peter and the Wolf? I have no idea. Like I say, all of this is taken from Incompetech. I should shout them out. We are listening to everything in the epic section today and just trying to memorize it, ready for future performances. So now, let's talk a little bit. One of the things that I want to bring to all of you, really, or have help with, and I should get a bit of paper before I start talking about this, otherwise I will massively regret it. That's right, envelope, you will be the perfect piece of... Oh no, I can't use that one. That's my Final Fantasy VII piece of paper. For those of you who play Final Fantasy VII, you'll understand what I mean when you have a certain piece of paper that is your Final Fantasy VII piece of paper for tracking limit breaks. And, you know, music and that sort of thing. There we go, there's one. So, what I want to talk about is different ways that we can do donation rewards, okay? Because, essentially, I'm not happy with the Wild Magic Surges. Okay, it's an idea that several channels have used. Okay, so it's not original. It's not original to me. I've seen multiple other people use it. Okay, yeah, I don't find it original. But on top of that, I find that as we go more and more, like next season we're going into even more viewer games, you know? We're going into even more new DMs and stuff like that. The Wild Magic Surges, the fun of them is how random and crazy they are. The detriment of that is that new players and new DMs can find that intimidating, you know? Hello, brand new DM. You're nervous as hell. This is your first campaign? Great. Now, here's a Wild Magic Surge. Can you please fit that in? Now, people like Charlie... Charlie is an experienced DM. Charlie is amazing. Charlie will take that and she will go, right, okay, what I can do with this is I can change that word there. I can change the theme a bit here. I can do this there. And I'll make this into a Wild Magic Surge that no one will even know as a Wild Magic Surge, right? But a brand new DM, hey, this person, they need to turn into a toad for the next couple of hours. Can you do that? And they're going to sit there and go, I don't have the stat block for a toad. I don't know. It's not cool. It's not cool. So I want to change it up. And that's the one that I mainly struggle with. I'm also going to be getting rid of the advantages. And then that one's in that 20. I want to go for something new. I want to go so that all of my donations support the players, support the DM, encourage collaborative roleplay. And I mean exactly that. Collaborative roleplay. Storytelling in a roleplay environment where everyone can roleplay. Hey, Lindy, welcome in. How are you? So, my first thought is that we can pay for HP. Okay? Temporary HP. Let's say each character is allowed, in D&D, 20 HP. We'll say that it'll be £1 per 1 HP. And that can go up to £20. Okay, so each campaign, they can... Oh, maybe something a bit... Yeah, no, £1 per HP. Let's say £1 per HP, yeah? Like, up to 20 temp HP. Now, that is only helping the player. You're literally giving them plot armor. What about something on screen that is simple, such as changing voice, for example, or having to use charades? No, that's not what I want to do. Because, yeah, Lindy, we're talking about new ways of doing things on the channel just to support players and DMs more. And the problem with that, Michael Wayne, the problem with making people change voice or having to use charades is it puts them on the spot, you know? You and only you have to try and do an accent now. Now, some people, like how Don calls it plot armor in Black Rose, yeah, do you know, funnily enough, I think it was actually Don who gave me the idea. I can't remember if it was straight from him or one of his players, but someone gave me the idea to have plot armor. And that, I think, is great. And you can mold that as well, you know, for different games, like, in Call of Cthulhu, for example, HP is a lot more valuable. Because HP, you know, if you lose HP, you're in trouble in Call of Cthulhu. So you could make it more like, you know, £1 will buy you half a HP, you know? And you can only have a thing at like 5, yeah? Yeah, I'm horribly shy. I think it showed when I was on Argo 37. Being put on the spot like that would have made me panic. Exactly. And that is exactly what I want to do. What if you implement the action point system in the original Eberron book for 3.5? Don cost me 50 quid trying to keep Grim alive. Okay, so Gemsong, you're confirming for me that works. Thank you. I'm not familiar, Twitter Vecna. Justin, I actually, believe it or not, I only started playing in 5e properly, okay? Before 5e, I played IRL, I played with a D&D starter set. I never really truly understood the rules properly, so I used to make them up. You can make certain donations that allow viewers to add NPCs or other touches of their own in the game. For example, the Smiling Man, which Alice played so well once. Ah, yes, paying for temporary insanity. Yes, exactly. D8 sanity recovery, yeah. Basically, a player gets a point they can spend to make a cinematic moment. Oh, okay. So it's like a flashcard. It's a pass. An epic moment pass. Yeah, so we've got HP for D&D, sanity for Call of Cthulhu, but I shortened it to cock. Sanity for Call of Cthulhu, or luck. That would have been amazing if If Bert could have been bought some luck today, that would have been amazing. Because I knew, as soon as it came down to a luck roll, I knew that Bert wasn't going to get it. Because he was so down on his luck. He had 4 luck. 4. You know? Never going to happen. Extra attack dice. Ooh, yeah, I like that. An extra attack dice. Or an extra damage dice. Yeah. Or something like that. So, okay. I recognise this as well. Oppressive Gloom. If you ever see me go still like that for a moment, I am literally filing that somewhere. Just for a moment. I'm just filing away that title and relaying it to the sounds that are coming into my ears right now. Spoilers. Yeah. Okay, but that wasn't too bad. I'm just saying that I know Bert's been on 4 luck for like the last 4 episodes. Whenever Bert gets a luck roll, a donation for a specific spell. The problem with a specific spell is it's going to be limited to a system, you know? I'm not thinking about the keeping the wild magic surges, no. I'm thinking I'm going to get rid of them. I don't find them original enough, and I don't find them supportive for new players, you know? And that's really what I'm all about, is supporting new players, supporting new DMs. And mostly it just comes in as a hindrance. It's an obstacle. It's something to be overcome. Thank you very much, Sunqui. Welcome. Advantages aren't a bad idea. Well, this is what I was thinking. I was thinking that if I give £1 per temporary HP, sanity, or luck, I could do a £5 reroll. Okay, and that's just a straight reroll. It's not advantage. It's not disadvantage. It's not take highest or take lowest. It's just, hey, you rolled that, you re-rolled it, and I think that is fairly that can be used in any system, you know? Any system. And you're right as well, because the crits, whilst they work well in D&D, because D&D is essentially designed to be 1/5 of the time you're going to get a crit. 1/20th, you know, 5% of the time you're going to get a crit. Okay? A bardic inspiration thing, that's not a bad idea. Yeah. Yeah, that's not a bad idea either. Hang on, we're going too fast now. Let me catch up. Let me catch up. Okay. Let's see. So the £5. I think for like £5 a reroll seems like a good idea. I like the idea of having just a reroll, just a flat reroll, you know? And then pay for bardic inspiration thing. Put up a spell bank, each £10 to the group, one individual spell level higher. A wild word, in that they have to just figure out how to incorporate a single word into their sentence. Now again, that's going to trip people up, you know, because they're going to be like thinking, oh, I need to be in character, but at the same time I need to use this word, and I don't want to pull people out of character, you know. I want this to be the place where people can come to learn that it's okay to roleplay. It's okay to really get into your character, you know. Obviously there are limits to that, in that, you know, if I'm not going to let someone play something that crosses other people's lines or that sort of thing, or the channel lines, but you know what I mean. Rerolls are good for smaller donos. Nat 20s would be good if more expensive, more rare, more impact. That is the problem, I think, with Nat 20s, is that in D&D you expect to get a Nat 20 5% of the time. In Call of Cthulhu, clenched teeth, a lot of drama there. A lot of drama in clenched teeth. Clenched teeth. So, 5% of the time in D&D you expect to see a Nat 20, but in Call of Cthulhu, your only critical thing is a 1. That's the only critical success. So that is 1% of the time. So it's dramatically different. And when you've got all these Nat 20s floating around in something like Call of Cthulhu, it just sort of like... they don't become Nat 20s anymore. They just become an automatic pass. You know? It's just going to be like, yeah, you can do that however you want. And it just completely detracts from it, you know? It gets rid of that clutch. And the other thing about the Nat 20, the other reason I think I'm going to leave out the Nat 20s is because players love to roll the dice, okay? Some players like to know, okay? Some players like to know. So, for example, recently we had a scenario where, I won't name any names, but someone on the channel in one of our games... Okay, so the shuffle isn't great on Roll20. One of the games, someone had to make a roll which they really wanted to succeed as a player. They needed it to succeed, because otherwise they weren't going to be okay. Okay? And the Nat 20 really helped them out, because they knew it was going to be okay. I would argue that the safety system is there for that, you know? I'd argue that we would talk about it afterwards and sort it out and make sure that everything's okay. Because, or even if we were to flag an N at the time, we could just move on, okay? And that's something to remember as well, as a player, as a DM, or as anything. It's okay not to be okay, even when all the pressure's on, and it seems like an epic moment, and like, you know, oh, all the pressure's on. It's okay to just go, it's too much. If I'm the DM of the game and I see that, with all that hype, I think it'd be amazing to just fade to black. Don't know what's happened. You can just string it out for a little bit. And we're going to the next scene. This person's okay. You did this. You succeeded. This happened. This happened. This happened, you know? Essentially, I think the safety system could act as your Nat 20 safety net. That's where I'm at. Kimmer, thank you very much. I'm not going to make drinking an official part of the stream. Always drink responsibly, everyone. Again, I'm trying to find things which are in line with supporting players. And whilst drinking is a renowned pastime, and it can be a lot of fun, it can also cause a lot of problems for people. And I'm all about support. So, like, if I give a player a pool of Bardic Inspiration dice, yeah. More dice rolling, not less. Exactly. Yes, I think that's better. I think it should be doable to generalize X dice for X donation. How long have I personally been DMing for? Now, that's an interesting question. Do you mean how long in terms of dates have I been DMing for? Or how much do I DM a week? Because I started playing 5e just over a year ago. Properly. Oh, of course, it's the Dance Macabre. That's why I recognise it. I was being silly. I know, Pale Lord. I have to make it clear. You know, I'm a public face. I have to, when people suggest the things, even though I know you're being silly, I have to make my stance very clear. Like length. Let's see. I play D&D and TTRPGs for about 40 to 50 hours a week. I've been doing that now for about 10 months. So in terms of hours, probably around 400 to 500 hours? 400 to 500 hours DMing, probably. Something like that. Sorry, it's a pretty straightforward question. No, it's just interesting because what happens when I go to conventions and things is people ask me that question. They're like, oh, how long have you been DMing? And I say, oh, I've been DMing for a year. And they immediately assume, oh, well, you've got so much to learn and all the rest of it. And I'm like, no. And then they're like, oh, I've been playing D&D for 20 years now. I started DMing 10 years ago. We play 1 8-hour game every month. And I'm like, oh. Okay, well, in terms of hours, I'm about level with you then. Okay, like, you know, like, I've played a lot of D&D. No, I'm not new to it. I DM professionally for a living. So let's carry on. I like up to the DM to dispose something upon the player. Boons are a good thing. Boons are a good thing, and it can come from a pre-prepared list. Pre-prepared list of boons. Boons and... You know what, Kimmer? You sound arrogant. See you later, buddy. Sorry, he triggered me, okay? Who cares how long I've been DMing? Get out of my channel. We're just trying to chat and have fun. Right. So, we can have a pre-prepared list of boons and maybe also like oddities that you can pick up. You know? Things like that. Things that do you know what? We should make a point of this as well. If any of you are my players or my DMs or anything like that, and you you find that someone in chat is just saying the things that are just getting to you and they're making the stream hard for you, like that just then was making me uncomfortable, okay? Calling me into question, calling me new, then calling me arrogant. All of that made me very uncomfortable, and it made me angry, okay? So I've banned him. And if you are ever a player, if you are ever a DM or anything like that in my channel, please know that I want this to be a safe, inclusive space. So if ever you are feeling picked on, if ever you are feeling like someone is calling into question, if ever you feel like you are having to justify yourself to the chat, just say to me, and I'll get rid of them. This is a safe, inclusive space. I want you to feel comfortable and safe learning to play TTRPGs and all that sort of thing. So I'm sorry that I've made a big thing out of it now. I've made a scene, but, you know, I am the diva in this relationship. Alice is the man. I've made my scene, and now I feel like I can move on, okay? So, yeah, but the point still stands. If ever you feel uncomfortable in one of my games because of someone in chat, all you have to do is send me their name in a DM, okay? And they're gone. Straight up, just like that. Oddities, yes. A list of oddities and boons. And what we can do is, they can say they can take a pre-prepared one. So let's look at what we know. We know that, sometimes you have to make a scene. Curse of Strahd comes with a list of oddities. Numenera comes with a list of oddities. Cypher System comes with its own list of oddities. The Player's Handbook has a list of oddities and trinkets, okay? They're not necessarily boons, but they could be made into boons. So, I think that's a nice idea. A pre-prepared list of boons, oddities, and trinkets. And with a new DM as well, I can tell them where to find those pre-prepared lists. Yeah? Yep. Yep, there's loads of them. There are loads and loads and loads of them. So where am I going to put that? Where am I going to put that? Also, I think I'm going to upgrade, like, so you guys know when I'm starting the stream, I'll always tell people about the XNO system. Ooh, what about donations for contacts, allies, and rivals? Yeah, we had NPCs mentioned earlier and magic items. The problem with magic items is they aren't very universal. You have to do a little bit of wiggling to get them in. It's better to have a pre-prepared thing. But NPCs, that's been mentioned a couple of times now. You just have to make sure that they have access to those lists, yeah. We'll come back to the magic items. Let's think about NPCs for a moment. Because the thing about this is that it's so, I want you all to know in chat that my priority is bringing in new players, making you all feel safe and comfortable, and that you can learn to play D&D and you can make mistakes without being questioned or anything, you know? However, I'm also doing this for a living. So, whilst that is my number one priority, let's talk brass tacks. If it ever comes down to it, and I have to, you know, I want my donations to be something that you guys want to do. I want them to be fun, and I want them to be able to go through, you know? Yeah, so with creating an NPC, I think that would be okay for an experienced DM. Like, if you asked Alice to come up with an NPC and you gave her a brief description, and or you asked Lindy, or you asked me or Greg or anyone like that to come up with an NPC, I know that we could do it enough. You know, we'd just be like, yeah, sure, we're gonna do this. You know, this person, they're blonde werewolf from Scotland that likes tea. Oh, hello there. You know, and you just pull it out. You just would. For a new DM, I really like this. This is angsty. Literally called Darkness is Coming. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, this is great. Logging this one. Oh, hang on. I thought it was about to go and do something like really techno or something. I was like, oh no, you know, like we've got this great intro and then it's gonna be like, darkness is. I was like, oh no. Yeah, I'm not sure how well I'd handle working something like that on the fly. And Sheena is actually next weekend. Sheena is going to be DMing. Sheena's exactly the sort of person that I want to protect in this situation, you know? So I don't want Sheena to have to try and work in an NPC that's going to stress her out when she's already stressed enough. It's going to be her first one-shot. It's going to be her first campaign that she's doing live-streamed. I hope you don't mind me using you as an example there, Sheena. But I want to protect that. It's tricky. It's not easy. Did you just mix techno and Metallica with a bit of rap? Possibly. What if you have an NPC to be like 20 or 30, but then you have to make it in the future, not right away? Someone might be keen on that delayed gratification. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. So the thing about delayed gratification is that it does happen. So now, when does this happen? When do we see it? Thursdays. Izriva will donate during the first or second stream to affect Ryutama because he can't stay up late enough to see it. Yeah, so that does happen. But the problem is, one of the things about donations is you want it to be live because you want it to be used. Because when, let's say you're in chat for the first time, yeah? And you're like, you get into it, you're watching for like 2 minutes and you see someone's diving out of a car and then they go and they're like, oh, I've just, like, I've grabbed hold of this thing, okay? And they're like, and then they roll for grip and it's awful. And they've got a reroll. Someone donates and they're like, reroll! So they like re-roll, and then you can do this awesome narrative thing where like their finger slips, but their second hand comes up and grabs it, and they've got it, you know? Or the re-roll comes out bad, and they slip anyway, and they're like, yo, you come into chat, you're in the chat for 2 minutes, you know, and then straight away you can see this happening, and you're like, well, shit, I want to donate for a re-roll, you know? Look how it's being used right now, you know? That's what I want to cultivate while supporting people. You can have an NPC show later, like, I know you may want instant boon style type things, but maybe it could be like I'd like to see this NPC shop later. If new DMs would like to have some NPCs come anyway. Eden being called out here, yeah. Sometimes I have to wait 3 weeks for a donation. I know that, Justin. I know. This is I am being thoughtful about all this sort of thing though. That 2 I rolled to grab a hand will haunt me forever. Always worth the wait, but I can see how people get a payoff. Yeah. Also entices a continuous viewer. I mean, I'll put it down. I'll put it down. NPCs. For future. But I would like something for instant gratification. You know? Instant gratification. And not something that's going to break the game either. Because, like, let's put it this way. If you've planned one big bad, right? And this is the big bad that your players have to discover and defeat within 12 episodes, okay? In episode 3, you've got a donation that's like, hey, I want a boss to show up. Well, you've only got one. You're going to have to be quite a skilled DM to pull the whole JRPG runaway thing on us, which is what Little Cup of Joe does us to quite a while. What about an info delivery instead of an NPC? System of annihilation. So a DM doesn't have to create or run an NPC, but could still deliver help or harm. Yeah, That's the thing as well. It's difficult, and I am considering everything that comes into chat. I promise. It's just tricky, you know? And too many nat 20s can actually break the game. We found that in Ryutama. Do you all remember at the start of Ryutama, we were like, nat 20s and nat 20s. If you roll a nat 20, then you get maximum thing. We had so many nat 20s, we were just sitting on them all like, do you know what? This isn't fun anymore. Anything we try to do, there's no risk. So we changed it so that the nat 20s were just +1 to dice rolls, which in the Ryutama system worked really, really well. And we did end up using a lot of them. I don't think we ended up using all of them, but we did end up using a lot of them. And, you know, this week's the finale on Thursday, so we'll see what happens. But it's a good point. The nat 20s can actually break the game. Info delivery is interesting. Drake, I'm not complaining. Okay, I'm not complaining. Thank you so much for your support. You genuinely make this possible. Genuinely, you know, I couldn't do this without donations, and whilst I want you guys to get a reward that is fun and will entice you to make more donations, because that's essentially how my business operates, I also want you to, you know, I want you guys to donate and want to support the channel, but I want to give you a little something back, you know? And it's just figuring out exactly where the dynamic is for that, you know? Because it's the giving you guys something back that will entice more people to donate and support the channel. There's only, you know, those of you who've been here for weeks and months and you know what we do and you know what we're all about, you understand what we're about. You want to come and support us because you know that we're about bringing more people into D&D. You know that we're trying to secure the future, try and make this golden age last as long as we possibly can. And we're only going to do that by bringing in new people and teaching them the skills to make epic stories. Because that's what it's all about. Having fun and creating epic stories. Making these epic roleplay moments. In certain campaigns, a clue might be good to get to ask the DM one question. Yeah, it depends on the campaign, and it depends on the yeah. Save this song for me, please. Thaxted, Holst. This is Holst. Of course it's Holst. I'm learning from going into the epic section that there is a lot of classical music which is evidently public domain. Evidently public domain. NPCs for future use. I'd like something else up there, you know. I'm not trying to be some of those channels like where things go crazy, you know? I don't want things to go crazy over here. I'm not looking for in the past I have let things go crazy because it brings in money. That's the truth of it, okay? I've let people summon ridiculous monsters and armies of things to do things because hell, you know, it pays the bills. But as the brand's getting stronger and as we're getting bigger, I really want our core focus to be about our core values, which is a safe, inclusive space for people to come and learn to play TTRPGs, a place where trolls aren't tolerated, as we saw earlier today. And I think I've made 2 of them. Oh, and sharing opportunities. I want this to always be a place where we share our privileges with people, okay? I know that I am a straight... Well, I'm not... You know, I'm a white guy, and I know I've got a certain amount of privilege with that, you know? So as the brand's getting stronger, I want to work more towards just simple things which will encourage roleplay. And that's maybe something that we could do, is throw in roleplay prompts. Something like that. Has anyone got any of them games where they've got roleplay prompts? Because that could be amazing. This is public domain. This is public domain. Something you're not telling us, Scrat? Eyebrow wiggle? Not sure. I didn't realize this was public domain. This is amazing. Oh. How about a temporary boost in skill or ability? Yes, I did like this from earlier. I like the bardic inspiration idea. I like the idea. So the first thing we've got is re-rolls, okay? I personally love roleplay, but I'm also a LARPer, and it's kind of what I did for a hobby. Drake, welcome home! You know, this is the home of where we want to do all that great stuff. Yeah. I'm don't get me wrong, I love rolling dice, okay? I love rolling dice. It's fun. It makes, you know, there are moments where you're not sure, everything hangs on a dice roll, and you're waiting to see how it's going to come out, and no one really knows, and you roll the dice, and that's great, but even more so is when you have a conversation like we had in Eberron earlier, and someone at your table literally bursts into tears whilst pressing that O key, and you know that it is enriching for them, that they are enjoying exploring their emotions. Do not get that confused with when someone bursts into tears for the wrong reasons on stream. That is just the worst place to be, and I would hate for that to happen on my stream, and I touch wood, we've avoided it so far, but I'd like to think that the safety system in place works well for it. And I've spent a lot of time trying to think of ways that I can improve the safety system, because the safety system was designed for tabletop gaming at conventions, okay? It was like an X card thing, so you're like, when you press the X card, or you press the O card, or you press the N card. Converting that to streaming is difficult, and using it in public is difficult. And one of the things that I want to start getting better at is reading my table. And this is very difficult, okay? So I'm asking for a lot here. I want to get better at reading my table, being able to deep listen to when they're not okay, even when they think they're okay. Because I don't want to give someone a panic attack. I don't want to give someone an anxiety attack. I don't want to make someone have to face that on screen and then know that it's going to be on the internet forever. You know? But I've tried a lot of ways to make the safety system better, and it's difficult. The only real way that the safety system can get any better is by people showing people how to use it. So this is going to sound bad. It's going to sound worse than I mean it, and I am not glorifying making people have to use the safety system in any way, shape, or form. But one of the ways that I try to encourage the card system, using them, is I'll press O question mark quite a lot. If you guys have been in my games, you'll see it often. O question mark. You okay? What's going on? Hey, you know, everything okay? Can we just check in here? Oh, and you know, everyone comes back with their little O, and that's great, and it just gets people used to using it. One thing that I can't do, and I think that's wait till my vision clears from the tears. One thing that I can't do, or I can do, but I haven't found a way to do it yet, is play the end card and show people that it's okay to play the end card. You know? You know, it's tricky. It's tricky. Because, and when it does happen, it happens very rarely. I think we've had it happen twice this season, maybe 3 times this season, where someone's played the end card, you know? But what it does, and I don't think any of them times were with new players. I don't think a single one of them times was with new players. It was always with experienced groups. But, essentially, when the end card gets played, everyone around the table immediately realizes that it's okay to play the end card. Everyone worries that if you play the N card, the N is the card. It's the, yeah, okay, this might happen, but I don't want details. It's where you fade to black. It still happens, but you just fade to black and move on. I've only had the X card played once in my entire streaming career. So, yeah, thank you, Sheena. Yeah. So, essentially, if it gets played, if the end card gets played, everyone around the table realizes that they don't think any less of that person who's played the end card. Okay? And it sort of breaks down this inherent fear of playing it. Because everyone worries that if they press the N card, if they play the N card, then they're going to ruin the fun for everyone else. That's the fear. That's the worry, is that if you play that N card, you're going to ruin the game for everyone. I think the system's hard. It's hard for general feelings of being overwhelmed when a player doesn't notice those feelings building. I think it's easy when you're like nope to something specific, but general feelings of I feel like the safety system falls short. Yes. So what I've been trying to do this season, is have pluses and minuses about how you're feeling. But you get the same problem again. Okay? So the plus and minus system is it's like a soft X and O. Okay? So the idea is that when you have a scene that you feel enriches your character and you feel good about it, you press plus. If you have a scene that makes you feel upset or you feel doesn't enrich your character, you press minus. The problem with this is exactly the same as the X and O system. The O gets played all the time, the plus gets played all the time. The minus, the N, the X, they get played much, much less. Because essentially what you're saying to the DM is, hey DM. Well, the way I've been saying it with the minus is, hey, I could use some sprinkles on my chocolate ice cream. You know, that's what I intend it to be. I intend it to be like, hey, this is great, but could I please have some extra chocolate sauce? You know? Hey, these chips are cooked to perfection, but I just need a little salt. Bad analogy maybe on Twitch. Hey, Berserker Rage, welcome. How are you doing? Yeah, so it's a tricky one. It's tricky trying to work with it. The other thing we've been working a lot with this season is breaks. And essentially what I've learned with the breaks is every group's different. Hey V, welcome in. It's late for you. Analogy making me hungry. Hey, even when we're not playing D&D, the Scrackers Academy will talk about food and make you hungry. But Yeah, so the other thing that I did a lot of research on this week, this season, was breaks. And, any chips analogy is good for me. Post-game buzz. Welcome. How was your game, V? I hope you had good fun. I popped in for a little while. But yeah, breaks are awesome for some people. Breaks are terrible for other people. So, this is my feedback on all the research I did about breaks, okay? I did a lot. I did a lot of questioning people. I did a lot of talking to players. And I did a lot of testing as well. We tried different things. We tried taking 2 breaks, okay? We tried taking 2 breaks, 1 hour in and 1 hour later. I don't like to have any downtime on the screen. I don't want there to be... I don't want you guys to ever see this screen. I don't want you to see it. I don't like this screen. This screen is, hey, no content, but back in a minute. I hate that screen. I don't want you guys to ever see that screen. So, we did it in several ways. We did it, first of all, where we had 1 break 1 hour in and 1 break an hour from the end. Okay, and half went then and half went then, and people could take it. That's because I hate to play it. I hate to use it. And we also tried 1 break in the middle, which was 10 minutes long, and we could half and half it. And that worked well as well. But do you know what? Some groups loved the breaks. Other groups hated the breaks. So... Oh, I also tried doing the best of both worlds. I also tried doing 1 5-minute break in the middle, where you could go at any time you liked during the game, but if you wanted to in the middle, we'd have a special stop so that people could go. And, yeah, you know, it made people feel like they were being... It's like the special needs problem, you know? Oh, I'm an inconvenience. I need special attention. Great. You know, that's how people felt about it. In other cases, some people felt like when they came off of when they went off onto a break and then came back, they'd lost all of their characterization. They'd dropped it, you know? They'd gone away, and now they were struggling to get back into character. And other times, DMs struggled with the breaks. DMs, especially, it depends on your style. If you're a rise and fall DM who's always building things up and knocking them down, and building things up and knocking them down, generally those DMs are okay with breaks. If you're the sort of DM that gradually builds the tension all the way through the game, ready for that fundamental cliffhanger at the end, if you're building that tension all the way through the game, then you have a break in the middle, everyone forgets the tension. And then you're constantly trying to build it back up towards the end, and it just doesn't get there. So... I know this one. This is my Sephiroth music. I like the breaks because I'm always sitting here going, I need to pee, but I don't want to move. Now, I am for breaks. This is what I will tell all of you in chat right now, okay? Support for breaks is very vocal. Everyone who likes breaks and wants to have breaks will shout from the rooftops about having breaks, okay? I didn't get a single person shout from the rooftops about not having breaks. The only people who messaged me about breaks, they messaged me very privately, and it was very much, hey, breaks make me anxious. Breaks, I don't know how to play a game with a break in the middle. And it was very quiet. It was all private. It was all, hey, yeah, I understand what you're doing and it's for a good cause, but this is ruining me. So first of all, it depends on the group. It depends on the DM, and lastly, it depends on other people. And one of the things that I will say is if you don't want to miss anything, and I'm not saying pay your way out of it, that's not what I'm saying, but you can get very cheap Bluetooth headphones these days that you can take with you. You know? But no need to get a UTI though. Gemsong, I'm not sure what a UTI is. That acronym, that's not great for me. You know? All I'm saying is, if as a viewer you want to go for a break, remember, there's a Twitch app for a start. And also remember, there's things like Bluetooth shaming. There we go. Thank you, Kelly. It feels like shaming. When you don't like breaks and people are constantly yelling about how much breaks should be supported, you feel like you're ruining it for everyone else. You know? UTI. Got it. Thank you. Well, I feel like I just did the whole, name this song, just to get a room full of people shouting Rebel Rebel. Bluetooth earbuds, you can get them. I like the mid-break that's short 5-minute run more for the DM and stuff. And you know what? It depends on the DM first of all. I would say before the players comes the DM's choice. Because at the end of the day, whether you're an experienced DM or you're a brand new DM, you've got a lot more juggling to do than the players. And don't get me wrong, if you're a new player, then it's going to be overwhelming, it's going to be amazing and terrifying and all the rest of it. But at the same time, you don't have as much to juggle for the DM. And even if you're an experienced DM, you have the pressure of this is this person's first campaign. They are a new player. I need to take them on their first campaign. I can't ruin this. So what I've tended to do is I've tended to ask the DMs, how do you want to do your breaks? Okay? Some DMs want to do 2 breaks. Some DMs want to do 1 break. And that's just fine. Okay? If they are happy doing 2 breaks, if they feel confident enough to do 2 breaks and they can rise and fall like that, fine. If they want to do 1 break in the middle because they need to take a break, but they don't want to ruin it for they don't want to, not ruin it for everyone. I'm sorry, I shouldn't use that language. If you need to take a break, you are not ruining it for everyone. Let me just clarify that right now, okay? If you need to take a break, you are not ruining it for anyone. But if you feel like you want to take a break in the middle to give people who feel like they can't tear themselves away a chance to go, then that's up to you as a DM. If you would prefer to have 1 long stream where you just go all the way through because you don't want any of the tension to go, then that is also up to you. Because I will always say, first thing I say to everyone at the beginning of the game is, before we go live, I say several things. I explain the safety system. Then I say, make sure you've got enough water. I tell them the recommended amount of water to drink in 3 hours. Okay? Because we're live for 3 hours. Next, I always say this before every stream, feel free to take a break whenever you like. You are not chained to your chair. We are here to have fun. The moment you feel like you have to be here and that you can't leave, go for a walk, whatever, we've missed the point. We've totally missed the point. Because if you're not sitting there having fun, if you're sitting there thinking more about, you know, needing to go to the toilet or thinking about your dog barking at the door and you're sitting there thinking, and it suddenly becomes an anxiety thing. Oh, I want to stay here, but I've got this thing to do, but I want to stay here, but I've got this thing to do. We're missing the point. Just go and do it. Just go and do it. You know, no one's gonna hold it against you. You're not gonna miss anything major. We will fill you in when you get back. That being said, it is an anxiety thing, and some people just can't help it. So, and that's why I recommend, if you're a player, I recommend the Bluetooth. If you're investing time into being a player and you think you're going to be a player regularly, if you think you're going to be a player at least once a week and you hope to be so for a continuing length of time, investing that $5 into a set of Bluetooth headset will be amazing for you, because you can just go to the loo and still hear everything, so you're not missing it. Okay? And if not, you need to, it's just going to be a matter of speaking to me, speaking to the DM, and just being like, hey, I know, DM, I know you prefer to do this continuous build thing. Could we maybe continuous build to the middle and just take 5 minutes in the middle where we just talk. Just talk about what's happening. Keep the tension by talking, but just talk about it. And it's a difficult thing to do, because we always say that. We always say that we'll keep the tension going. We'll take questions in-game. But as soon as it actually comes to having a break and people leave the table, immediately you sort of end up plugging stuff and, like, all sorts of other things, you know? Walmart, by the way, if you want $5 Bluetooth earbuds, Walmart do them, I believe. If you want a nice, comfortable, decent pair, like Potato Hollow says, there's some $40 ones on somewhere. I'm sure you'll give us a link, Spud. Tater. Anyway, we have massively detracted from where we were. Let's get back into thinking about Wild Magic Surges and things. Rant over. I hope you enjoyed it. I think I was also partially burning off some of the anger at that person there. $10. $10 on brand at Walmart. There you go. $10, not $5, $10. Okay. So, we've got Bardic Inspiration die that we can use. We've got a pre-prepared list of boons, oddities, and trinkets. Which is sort of like keeping some of the chaos of the Wild Magic Surges, because we all know the Wild Magic Surges are popular because they add the chaos. And Nat 20s don't get used because they take away the chaos, and people like the chaos. Okay? Aw, thank you for the hug. I came in at UTI time, perfect. I'm not sure if it's something that matters to others, but I love in-game where you find stuff like a broken table, string, and things that at the moment where you find a use to it, I find to be awesome would be that sort of thing would be used. I see. Yeah. I can see that. Difficult to work into a Wild Magic Surge, though. These are very clever, you know? Yeah. How are we all doing in chat? Sorry, I took us on a bit of a ride there. I talked about some sensitive subjects. How is everyone doing? Can I just check that everyone in chat is okay? Eris! Am I saying it right? I don't know anymore. Eris, hi. Eris Avod. Did I say it right? I'll just type it. Thank you for the raid, Ollie. You've made my day. Great. I'm so glad. Good. Lots of those. Lots of those in chat. Thank you all. No, we're not thinking up Wild Magic Surges, Wild Engineer. Essentially, I said it right! Truth of the Legend, Alice. Truth of the Legend. So what we're doing right now is essentially I want to get rid of the Wild Magic Surges. They're difficult to implement. They're not my original idea. They're something that lots of other streams do. They're not on brand at all. They don't support new players, which is what we're all about. And now that the... essentially what I'm doing is I'm going through the phase from Season 1 to Season 2 where the brand's getting stronger. I don't need the amount of chaos. I mean, I say that having not hit my goal this month, but that aside, I would like to trade chaos for safety and support to some extent, whilst maintaining the fun. So what I'm doing right now is we are talking about new donation initiatives. Getting rid of the Wild Magic Surges because they are difficult for new players and new DMs to implement, and my whole thing is about making this channel safe for new players and new DMs. So, I'm trying to think up of new things. What we've got so far is temporary HP, sanity, or luck. Oh, good night, Gemsong. Thank you so much for chilling. Yeah, that's the other thing as well, and I should talk about this. A lot of sponsors and things have been talking about competitions. I struggle with competitions. I find that when you run competitions, you get fickle viewers. You know, people come in because you're giving something away, and then when you stop giving something away, you leave. And we've got a good example of this. We had Grant came and did a one-shot on our show one time, okay? My usual viewership is between 20 to 30 viewers, okay? Usually. Hovers around 30. When it slowly builds over time. We've been slowly building. The more of you that stick around, the more it slowly builds. We do a lot of hours, so it's difficult to get our average high enough to reach the partner recommended levels. I might apply for partner anyway, even with my levels as they are, because lots of reasons. First of all, we do a lot more hours than other streams, so it's harder to build that average. Secondly, if they deny me partnership, I would love to hear their feedback. I'd love to hear their take on what I'm doing at the moment and how I could improve it. You know, that would be valuable to me. So I'm thinking about applying anyway, just to see what they recommend. But the problem was, when Grant came in, he did this thing where he was like, if we get 50 viewers in chat today, we were sitting at 25, and he was like, if we get 50 viewers in chat today, I'll give away a book. Alright? Mal Hidale, thank you so much. I appreciate you admitting that. And please, everyone be aware, I want your support. I don't want you to do more than you can afford. Please don't put yourself in trouble. Thank you, Mal, for being honest about it. It's great, and it can be really addictive to donate to people, you know? And, it can really, you know, you can get lost in the heat of the moment and do donations and things like that. But always, like, it's like gambling or anything else. Always donate responsibly. Always make sure that you've got enough to look after yourself and your families and the people that are near to you. Okay? Always put yourself first, because if you don't end up looking after yourself, then you know, essentially you won't be able to look after me the next month or anything else. And that's why, if you find that you overstretch yourself, okay? If you find that you overstretch yourself, maybe stop donating. Instead, work out how much you can afford and just subscribe on a Patreon. I will appreciate you just as much. Just as much, okay? So if you find that addiction is a thing, and if you find that you get addicted to donations, which I would hate for any of you to do, I don't want to inflict that pain on you. If you find that that's happening, work out how much you can afford, switch to Patreon, and, you know, just calm down. I appreciate it, I really do, and I appreciate the sentiment, but at the same time, I don't want you guys to cripple yourselves, because at the end of the day, you are my support line, and I want you guys to be able to support me in the long term. That's what we're all about here, right? We're about the future of D&D, and if you guys come bankrupt yourselves, guess what? That's going to make the future a lot harder. Patreon. I just like being generous. What good is money if it can't make people happy? Well, that's true. And that's we're going to get awfully deep if we talk about that. Anyway, back to the book. The thing was, that stream where Gemsong won the book, we got 50 viewers. Great, we got 50 viewers that stream. Next stream, straight back down to 25. You know? I don't know, Gemsong, if you came in and you stayed around for that giveaway, great. But what I find is, generally, you mostly attract people who want something for their money. They want something in their hands. They want a book. They want the dice. You want the bag that you're giving away. They want the mini that you've painted, or whatever the hell else it is. Thank you, Zelda. Cat hair. Yeah, it just basically builds up fickle viewership. I'd much rather have you tell your friends about this awesome series that you're watching, them to go and watch a YouTube video, and then watch the YouTube video, see the content, and then decide for themselves whether it's something that they're interested in. You know? I'd much rather them go away and be like, hey, who's the last person who chatted? V has been talking about this Argo 37 stream for 4 weeks straight. Hell, I'm going to go check it out. Let's see what she's raving about, you know? Maybe they watch the last episode, maybe they watched the first episode. And exactly what Roguish Puck says, amazing content. They see the content and, you know, thank you, Roguish Puck. It's a wonderful compliment. It is your opinion, is that this is amazing content. So, and if they think that it's amazing content, they'll come back, you know? And that's the best way. I don't like bringing people in for a competition and the slim chance that they might notice the content and stick around. You know? We're building on strong foundations here for the future. That's essentially what I'm saying. We're thinking of the long game. Anyway, I'm babbling again. I'm babbling again. Well, of course it is. That's why I sub on Patreon. I won't shut up about Argo and the channel. Thank you. And all of you in chat, any of you that were at PAX Unplugged and you talked about my channel, thank you. I have had a ton of people get back to me, private DMs and all that sort of thing, tweeting at me directly on Twitter saying, hey, these people talked about you at PAX and I want to come and play a game, or I thought I'd pop into chat because people at PAX just wouldn't stop talking about you. So thank you. All of you that talked about me at PAX, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I really, really appreciate it. And Berserker Rage, if you want another game, you just send me a DM and we'll get you right in another game. Because that's what we're all about. I wonder if I should build a character or something. Same, I'm a tick. But this is the thing as well. You guys, you stick around long enough and eventually you're going to get talent scouted, you know? I mean, whether it's, you know, some people are natural, some people take time to develop. I'm not saying that any of you are any particular one in chat right now. But, you know, every now and again, my channel is about bringing in new viewers, and I hope that people like WebDM, like the Greyhawk channel and Encounter Roleplay, might occasionally be looking for players and think, well, where can we see new players that might bring life into the game? Oh! I remember seeing a random tweet wanting to play D&D and not knowing how to start playing, and I sent them straight to you. I appreciate that so much. That is exactly what I want. And Tater, that's fine as well. If people, hey, thank you for the sub.
What a fighter! I can show you how to be a shield.
I love my new sub things, but I think I'm gonna have to change them again. I've noticed that they're they are a bit too long, especially when there's like a tense moment. When there's a tense moment and someone is like, the drama right now, and then it's like, hey, so you want to join the guild? It's like, one of these days you need to get that heart thing you do as an emote. Well, I need more emote slots, and for that I need to get partnered. So. We'll push for it. Been out in the D&D loop for 30 plus years, hoping to resurrect my skills through what you do here. Hey, I hope to resurrect your skills too, you know? And, yeah. This will be my first time actually acting out my character. I've only ever done text-based before. I hope I'm not horrible. Okay, so... Eterin, I'm going to tell you something right now. Don't watch the first stream you did. Okay? As soon as you finish the first stream you did, if you liked the feeling of playing, sign up for another one straight away. Some people, especially extroverts, they'll take to it like a duck to water, okay? They'll come in, they'll play their character, and everything will be fine, and they'll just be straight in. Some people aren't. It's just the difference. I love this one. Oh yeah, this is my fight music. Yeah, I thought I recognized it. Other people will take longer to develop, and that is just fine. But, especially if you are slightly introverted and you're worried that you were nervous or something like that on your first stream, just sign up for another one. Because if you judge everything on your first performance, where you're going to be nervous, you're not used to it, you're in a new environment and everything else, it's not going to be great. It's not going to be great. You're going to go back, you're going to see every minor thing that you did wrong. Every time you clammed up, you're going to see it. Keep at it, keep moving forward. Sign up for another game. Just sign up for another one. Just sign up for another one. And if you keep signing up, eventually you're going to get yourself in a campaign. One way or another, you're going to get yourself in a campaign, either here or somewhere else. Because someone will look at the way you play and someone will find your table. Because we all have different tables. Oh yeah, and then you'd never want to do another. Exactly. Exactly. Perfect. Roguish Puck. Fantastic. It gets easier the more you get used to it. Exactly, Zelda. Exactly. Zelda's like... And Zelda's now part of Eden. Which is like... Whew! You know? And Berserker Rage, I've filled this one. But keep on messaging me about getting into games. And, you know... I will pull you into a game. Like... It might not be next season. Might not be the season after that. But... You know, you will, because eventually you'll pick up on the things. Once you've done 2 games, okay? I would say the 3rd game, you can start going back and analysing yourself, okay? The 1st game, don't even look at it, okay? Just take it as a rush. You did it, well done. 2nd game, now you're starting to refine it. Do I really like this, or was that just a rush, okay? I'm nearly flicking you all off. 3rd game, that's when you can look back at yourself. You can now start looking back and going, okay, yes, I like this. Now, how can I get better at it? And that's when you can start looking at the things you say and the way that people react to it, okay? And that's something that I do regularly, especially if I feel like something wasn't right. I'd like to think doing all the things that I do, I've picked up a reasonable amount of insight into how people are feeling around my table. So when I get the feeling that I need sexual healing, I go back to the videos and I look at that moment where things were getting uncomfortable and I analyse the hell out of it. What did I say? What did I do? What are all the little things that could be making them uncomfortable? And 9 times out of 10, you'll look at it back and you'll go... They were going through this, this, and this at the time, and I've gone and mentioned this. I need to be more aware of this. There you go. Everyone is always improving. That is my best DM on this channel, you guys, saying that everyone is always improving, and she is far from where she wants to be. Alice Nelson, well, no, she's not Nelson, I married her. Alice Cleaver, telling us all that she is far from where she wants to be. This is the mind behind Eden. This is the mind behind Eberron. This is the mind behind the timey-wimey Argo 37. Saying that she is far from where she wants to be. This is a journey, my friends. This is a journey. I wish I could find my table. I've been in lots of things, but every single game just falls apart, or I just don't get them there, or something happens. I'll just keep getting as many games as I can. I have a big lack of games recently. Well, Taylor, keep on signing up for games. How do I pick people for my campaigns? I match people. Okay? It's not about how much experience you've got. It's not about how confident you are. Although, if you've done 2 or 3 one-shots, you're more likely to get picked than someone who's done 1. I'll say that. Okay? How do I pick people for campaigns? I match them. Okay? So... after 2 games with you, after 2 or 3 one-shots with you, I get a good feel of what kind of DM style you prefer, what sort of things you are looking for in your games, what sort of things you enjoy in general. Once I've got a little bit of insight into that, once I can think, oh yeah, I remember that, they enjoyed this, and I'm sitting there and I always do my DMs first. I get my... Good night, everyone. Berserker Rage, have a great night. I look at the DMs first. I look at the DMs and I think to myself, now, okay. I then go back and I look through... I've got my diary. I keep it in paper so I can easily reference it, okay? I look at my diary. I go back through the diary. I look at all the people that have played on the channel, okay? And I think about the DM that's DMing and the style of their DMing, because usually I'll have you on a couple of one-shots. If you're DMing a campaign, I might just turn the music down a little bit. How's the level for you guys? Is it a bit loud? It's a bit loud for me. I'm just trying to figure out if I should just turn it down for me or turn it down for both of us. I'll let you get back to me on that shortly. But DMs, usually you will either the DMs will be someone renowned around, okay, on the internet already. They're already a DM somewhere. And getting loud. I thought so. Yeah. Okay, let's turn it down. So it'll either be DMs that are already got a reputation, already have made their mark. Okay, so I already know their DM style, or it'll be one of our newer DMs that I've already had on the academy twice, DMing a show. That's what the weekend sessions are for. Once a month when we do the academy session, which is next weekend, by the way, we do the DM, and it's the same. It's just exactly the same as playing. The first time you DM, you know, I'm going to put you with an amazing group, so you do have a great experience, but you've got to come back and do it again, because ideally you want to do it twice so that you're comfortable with it. And once I've seen you DM twice, I'll know your DM style. Once I know your DM style, I can then picture that in my mind, and I can be like, right, okay, so Alice likes deep roleplay. She likes people to think about things that they are doing. She's not a big fan of dice rolls. So, of all of these new players, which ones match that style? And I'll go back and I'll go, oh yes, last person in chat, Potato Hollow, he matches that style. I'll put him in the game. The other thing I try and do, because one of my core values is the sharing of opportunities and privileges is big on my channel, is I try and make the genders roughly equal, and I get as much diversity in race and people as I possibly can. I don't want my stream to be full of the same type of people. I think if that happens, there is a problem. So at minimum, it'll be, I'll try and get about half, you know, I'll try and, you know, half and half the genders, and if, you know, genders are unaligned, then, you know, I'll just put that under one of them. I'll just, you know, go with that one, go over there, that one, go over there, whatever. You know, it's the diversity that's important. I love having members of the LGBTQ plus community in our streams, because it brings a different perspective. Okay? That is the main thing. Having diversity in sex, having diversity in race, having diversity in experience and privilege, it brings diversity of storytelling opportunities. Okay? If we were all rich white kids who all lived in the same mansion, who all had the same parents, who all did the same thing, okay, we would all be trying to tell a very similar story with just a slightly different spin on it. One day I'll get my stuff together and attempt GMing. Zelda, January, right? I thought I had you in the diary already. Didn't I have you in the diary already? Where's my January diary? Oh no, it wasn't you. But it could be you. That's what your first game is for, though, Zelda. This is the thing. If you guys want to try DMing for the first time, first of all, come and play on the channel first. I need to know who you are. Okay, I need to know what kind of game you enjoy. Because it's very, very likely that the style of DM that you are going to be will match your player style. Okay? It's very likely. If you like lots of rolling, high risk with roleplay after the rolls, you know, then the chances are that when you start DMing, you're going to throw in lots of chances for rolls with crucial roleplay that come after the rolls. It's just a thing, you know? And then I will hand pick your crew of recognized names, people that have already been in long-running campaigns, or people who already have a following on Twitch or Twitter as DMs. I will hand pick them to match your style as best as I can. Okay, at least 3 of the 4 players will be specifically handpicked for you. Thank you, Tater. Thank you for your honesty, and thank you for being understanding about it. It is something I believe strongly in, you know? So, when you first DM on my channel, and Zelda, I'm pitching this to you, but I'm pitching it all over. Yes, and Kelly, when are you DMing next? You're gonna come back and DM again, right? When are you DMing next? Because you need to get your second one under the belt. Because your first time DMing is just like your first time playing. It's not the best data. You've only got one data point and you were nervous. Now you need another one where you know that you can DM. The first one, you come in and you're not sure. You're like, did everyone have a good time? How are we going to do this? We all know those feelings, okay? I had them recently. I did, yes, over Christmas. I knew I already had you in the diary. Great. So you'll be running a season in no time. I had this recently though. When we went to visit Tool School in Florida, I did an IRL game. My experiences of IRL games are awful. Jelly did great, even nervous? Jelly? That tickled me. Okay. Okay. But yeah. What was I saying? I've completely lost it. Yeah, you need that second game to have a to get a second game under your belt. You know, get a second game under your belt, and then you can start. We can start really seeing how you are as a DM. What we see on the first time that you DM is we see how you react in a panic, because essentially you are panicking. You know, you're in a high stress situation. Not gonna lie, you got me pumped. Might as well already jump me down for number 2. You know, like exactly, and that's great, and that's why, like, I like to think of it as a graduated system. We are an academy over here, and I like to think that the thing that education has proven through time is that structure develops education. Structure develops learning. If you structure learning, it will happen in a regimented way. And that's what I'm sort of trying to do. Generally, it's one-shots into a campaign, into DMing, into going and DMing. And you can pull out of those at any sort of time. If you're happy being a player, if you never want to DM, that's fine. You know? You can drop out of college at that point. You don't have to do sixth form. You don't have to go to university. You can go and get a job right there. You can go and be a player on another channel, or on my channel. You can go and get you know, something like that. And if you can get into a paid role as a player, fantastic. I've done my job. You know, just don't forget about me when you're famous. I was super stressed DMing yesterday. Had to deal with my first player death. Always difficult. Always difficult. And that's one of the things, I'm always changing the words that I say at the beginning of the stream. So before we go live, I always tell people about the X card. And I always, I used to just simply say, hey, the X card is your way of telling us that whatever has just happened or is just about to happen is not okay. It's going to negatively affect my enjoyment of the game, and we will redact it. It'll never happen. That's all I used to say. Now I say, la da 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 will negatively affect my enjoyment of the game, and I openly say that is very specific wording. That includes if emotional trauma. That includes if you're going to be salty for the rest of the game. That includes anything that is going to have a negative effect on your emotions, because I don't want that in my game. I want you to have fun. And a player death, when a player dies, if your player is dying, you better have your eye on Zoom chat, because you know that's coming in. If your player is dying, I want to see O's or I want to see N's. Okay? Because it is a high stress time, especially if you've invested a lot of time and effort. If we're 40 hours into a campaign and you are tied to this character tightly, if there is a player, if your player, if another player around you, if they are dying and everyone is tied to them, you're gonna get that oh question mark, and I want a straight answer. I don't want you to just say, well, everyone else is okay with it, so I'm okay with it. I want your earnest opinion, because I want you to have a good game. This isn't for me. This whole academy, it's not for me. It's for D&D as a thing. I want to develop you all into amazing players. I want you all to enjoy D&D. I want you to keep coming back and playing it more. And all the other TTRPGs as well, including Cypher System and all the others. So, if you're not okay with that character dying, it's very easy to just put an N. Very easy. Put the N in. And you know what? Or even, that is the opposite. That is the ideal time for an X. I am not okay with this character dying. It cannot happen. And I will pull it out of my arse to make that character not die. And there are some really fun things you can do with that. Okay, so who's been watching on the Greyhawk channel the Uprising in the Perrin Lands? Hands up. Because over there, we had a player death. Now, this is when I started doing this. I started doing the O card at player death then. Because that player looked like they were about to burst into tears. And I wasn't okay with that. So in my head, I played the N card myself. Okay? I played the N card myself. And I stopped their character from dying. I made it very clear that I was okay letting a character die. And later on, we had another character die, and, you know, they didn't look like they give a shit. So it was dead. And we brought in a new character, and they're fine with it. They're having a whale of a time. That's, you know, the way they play. That's fine. But that player, they did die, and they looked terrible. So I changed it. I gave them an out. Okay? I did a whole scene where the hands of death are clawing at them and trying to pull them down, and there's the light, and they have to move towards the light, okay? And they're trying to fight against the hands to get to the light, and they're rolling against the hands, and they're gonna get out, and they're struggling, and I've created the whole feel of fighting death itself, and they clawed their way out of it, and they found themselves on a field, and on the opposite side of the field there is a giant death figure, slowly stepping towards them, blue eyes and empty sockets blazing as they bore into their forehead, heading towards them. They know that this creature is going to claim them and take them for their flock, take them as one of the wheat straws that they have hacked. There is a woman standing next to you. She says, "I can save you. You have to make a deal with me." She teleports you to a pub. In this pub, she sits at a table. Opposite the table you sit, on a wooden chair with the bow arms around, incredibly comfortably with soft leather. You know this to be a dream, but my god, is it a comfy one. As you look around the room, you see the death figure sitting in the corner, idly stroking an hourglass. She says to you, "I can save you from death. All you need to do is agree to be one of mine, one of my own. I need you to come and look after my daughter. I can give you some gifts, and she can give you the rest that will help you stave off death. You can never die." And the character said yes. And the woman said, "Well, will you expose your neck for me?" And she did. And so we have a vampire in Uprising in the Perrin Lands. An undead. There's so much you can do, is what I'm telling you. As a DM, you never get doors closed, okay? The rule of cool beats all rules. So I don't care if you've rolled a nat 1 on your death saving throw. Alright? I don't care if you've had your health wiped out 3 times. No matter where you are in a campaign, as the DM, remember that you are the god. Okay? You decide who lives and who dies. You decide anything. It can be a real power trip for some people. If you feel a power trip from being a DM, take a break. It's not about power. It's about everyone around that table having fun. They always say there's 2 rules to D&D. You might have heard these 2 rules. Rule 1, the DM is always right. Rule 2, the DM, if the DM is wrong, see rule 1. It's ever so slightly wrong. Ever so slightly wrong. Rule 1, the DM is always right. Rule 2, it's really difficult to say for me apparently. Rule 2, it's the DM's job to make sure that everyone at the table is having fun. Okay? Nothing else. If you're the DM and you're sitting at that table and you're not sure if everyone's having fun, good. You'll never know. But check in with them regularly. Okay? Check in with them regularly. See if they're hyping it up. See if they're doing all this cool stuff. If they're not having fun, you need to check in with them. It might be that you're not pairing well. There is a table for every player. If you're the sort of player that likes a lot of rolling, you like the chance of dying, but, and you want to fight things all the time, but you're not really interested in roleplay, it might be that the DM's really interested in roleplay and doesn't really give a shit about combat. Hi, that's pretty much me. In which case, you're just not at the right table. And that's okay. Because there's a table out there for you. You just got to find it. You know? Mad Rogue, no, welcome. We are just discussing. We are just chatting. And this is where my brain goes when I chat. I just talk bullshit until you guys distract me. A lot of coaching and advice today, not as intense as it seems. Very solid conversation. We've also been thinking of alternate ideas. That's what I was supposed to be doing. We've been thinking of alternate ideas to the Wild Magic Surges. I don't like the chaos. Essentially, chaos brings you a lot of money in a stream because people like to see chaos, so they'll pay a lot of money to see the chaos. However, it breaks up roleplay and it can really knock confidence. And obviously the channel is all about developing new and newer players and building confidence. So I don't want my donation rewards to shatter confidence. So we're looking at things that we can do to build confidence as donation rewards, which are still fun. Okay? So the first thing is temporary HP, sanity, and luck. People can pay to increase your HP, sanity, or luck, depending on which campaign it is. Next, we have a reroll. Just a straight reroll. No advantage. No disadvantage. Just a straight reroll. We need bad things for donations too. I like the bad thing donations because it gives you a lot to react to as a player, which helps you get better. That's interesting. That's interesting. LD, if you bite my feet, you're going out of this room. Wow, she listened. Are you my cat? Are you really my cat? It's interesting, because what I'm thinking is... my thoughts as a DM on the channel, okay? My thoughts. I create bad things all the time. I create subtle bad things. I can't remember the last time I had to look at a bad things thing, a bad things donation, and try and think of something to donate as a bad thing. Hildy. I can't remember the last time I had to think of a bad thing. You know? And it shatters confidence for you to be there in this moment. I've heard this story a million times when I speak to people at conventions and that sort of thing. When you are, yes, Adam Watson definitely counts as a bad thing. All of your bad thing donations have been taken up by Adam Watson. And this is what I mean. When the DM constructs a bad thing, okay, it allows you to develop as a player. They will build something that is specific for you. I really like this as well. What is this song? Martian Cowboy. I really like this. They will build something deliberately for your character to work against. Okay? They'll throw a spanner in the wrench. They'll put a spanner in the wrench. They'll throw a wrench in the works to try and make things difficult. And it will help you develop. But when it comes to one of those moments where the fun of it, here's the thing, this is the fun of it. The fun of it is in this beautiful little device here, this beautiful polyhedron. When the fun of it is, I need a 10 or higher to pass this, okay? I need a 10 or higher to pass. It's 50-50, could go either way. Everyone wants this to happen. Everyone wants this to happen. Whew. I rolled a 13. I need to roll a Bardic Inspiration minus. A D6. It's a 4. I can't do it because of that donation. Resentment, bitterness. I'm not so sure. I'd like things to be more supportive than that. I think it would be better practice for DMs to be in charge of how much bad stuff they improve. Because that's the other thing as well. When your players need a break, and the chat starts going crazy. You know when your players need a break, by the way. You know. As a DM, when you've been running for a little bit. When you are... Oh, good night, Kentucky. Good night, Kentucky Hawkeye. When your players have been through the mill and they need a break. And chat starts flaring up and they're like, we want to give you disadvantage. We want to give you all of this. We want to give you all this, all of this. You have to ignore it. You have to. I do it all the time. Because your players aren't ready. You can't physically... They need a break. They need to have that game where they all sit around the campfire and talk. They need to restore their faith in humanity. They are the people designed to come and save this world. But at the moment, they don't care about this world. You know, it's the classic thing. Well, this is the thing. The bad thing donations, I kind of don't see the point. Because as a DM, I'm constantly thinking of bad things anyway. You know? That's my thing. So here's my take on DMing and stuff. Okay? Oh yeah, Maverick, that's exactly it. Temporary HP, first thing. Next was a reroll, no advantage and disadvantage. Next is Bardic Inspiration. The next is a prepared list of boons, oddities, and trinkets. And the last one is NPCs for future. That is a long-term investment, so you plan an NPC for the next session. But here is my take on the DM versus the players. These are the real storytellers. The players, they're over here. Okay? My job is to create them a stage and create them a hook and see how they react to it. Yeah, but like that one's a DM's discretion. Yeah. AC increase for the next combat? Yeah, that's a good one. More difficult to balance. And also, difficult for different systems. The nice thing about increasing HP or sanity or luck is that that pretty much, I think, covers most systems. You know, Ryutama, you can have extra HP. Call of Cthulhu, you can have more sanity. D&D, you can go for HP. Other games where you have luck, you can have luck on certain rolls. It's easy to think about. Armor class, some games have armor class, some don't. And in some games, like in D&D, 20 is a good armor class. In Ryutama, 4 is a good armor class. You know? So, it's a tricky one. It is tricky. And this is the thing as well, I'm not a game designer, guys. I'm not a game designer, I'm just a game player. I'm a storyteller. I'm a roguish bloke who spins yarns and creates obstacles for people to jump over. And that's exactly it. I already think it's my job as the DM to create bad things because I want my stories to be about heroes. Okay? Admittedly, 9 times out of 10, I then make the villains seem likable so that people end up going on dates with Jarlaxle, or the paladin ends up converting the wizard towards the ways of wizardry, which may or may not have happened on Friday on the Greyhawk channel on the Uprising of the Lands. I should go and highlight it. I really should go and highlight it. There is about a 30 to 40 minute conversation between the paladin and the wizard, where the paladin is convincing the wizard to become a vampire and join my big bad evil. What do you even call that? Is that a bad thing? Is that a good thing? How do you put that on the scale of good and bad things? I don't know. It's downright sinister. And Susie was so torn having to say no. Susie was so torn having to pretend to say no. Being DM's discretion. Yeah. The other thing is it just gets forgotten about, I find. Anyway, that's a good idea. Yikes. A bad thing? With a question mark? I'm just stuck on that right now. It's okay. My cat's clawing at me. What do you want? You're not having my wire. That is my wire. Get off. Bad. What's this? This is nice. Space Fighter loop. Ooh. I'm looking forward to Wizards and Wardrobes tomorrow, by the way. I do need to do a little bit of planning for that, actually. Teehee. Only a tiny bit of planning, but I just need to do a tiny bit of planning. I'd appreciate that, Kelly, because at the moment I'm fairly against it, and I'm really appreciating hearing your opinions of why they're a good thing. Because for me, I almost feel like they take away agency from the DM. I think that's where I get the problem from them. Is, in my mind, I've got the bad things covered. You know? What are you breaking? Wait! Alice! Alice, we have a bad cat. It is the Wizards and Wardrobes finale tomorrow. The final finale. Help me! Alice! She heard me.
What are you doing?
She's destroying everything.
What's this?
It seems Kitty really wants attention. She just wants to destroy things. She just wants to destroy things. That I'm not articulating well. Kelly, it could also be that I'm just blind to it at the moment. Okay? So, yeah, let's get your feedback on that. I really appreciate it. I really, really do. As a new DM and player, they push me to be more creative when I would normally hold back. Okay. Yeah, I can see where you're going with that. It seems Kitty really wants attention. I mean, negative bard against Bo would be up to the DM's discretion, right? Yeah. I think that's part of it. Oh no, hang on, I've already read that one. Hi Alice. Yeah. Hello Alice. So it could be chosen to be used on less powerful moments. She's playing with lighters and gasoline. She might as well be. She is a bad kitty. She is a bad, bad kitty. Yeah. Oh yeah, I can see what you're seeing there, Tater. I can see what you're doing there. There's been times when I've used the Nat 1 to that effect. Like when players are just rolling too well. When they're just rolling too well and you can't do anything to them. They just become untouchable. It's very difficult as a DM to face that, by the way. When your players seem untouchable, you almost just sort of end up becoming resigned to it. At least I do. You have to try and change the game, give them a different kind of thing. I'm not focused, am I? I don't feel focused. Camera, can you focus, please? Can I focus this thing? There's nothing about focus on there. Oh, it's probably not focus. I probably know what it is, actually. See Johnny Deep! I raised my hands. Yes, true. I think I know what it might be. Sorry, you guys. There's a little... Oh, I have a bit of green screen in there for you. There we go. Johnny Deep does have that Roll20 voodoo. And who do you voodoo, you know? Still looks smudgy. Okay. Yeah. But the thing is, you can make it work. I'm not focused. You're never focused during these chats. That's true. That's valid. I'm not. Often I'm not. Need to pull you down just a little bit more. Okay. A little bit higher. Am I too high? You can see my chest nicely though. I'll leave it there. You do that voodoo that you do so well. Yeah. I'm looking forward to the next time we see Johnny. We haven't seen Johnny for a while now. And I'm looking forward to the next time that we get Johnny. Lindy is a really good DM for me. You know how I'm always saying that you will find your table? Lindy's table is my table. Lindy's crazy and my crazies match, I find. As far as I'm concerned, Lindy is the only person that should be able to call Johnny Deep into play. Just because Lindy's DM style and my play style work so well together. We had so much fun playing with Johnny and the crew. You know? It was so much fun. And honestly, I can't put any other time even close to holding a candle to it. It was so much fun. And I can't wait till the next time we do it. I can't wait till the next time we do it. I had that video in the last one shot I had on this channel. Just look at the part. Hey Ishman, welcome. I had that video in the last one shot I had on this channel. Just look at that part where I really messed up that final boss. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Lindy will be running the session I'm in over Christmas. Oh, you lucky boy. Or girl. Or anything else in between. Or outside of. I'm looking forward to Christmas. The 12 days of Christmas. So here's what we're going to do. We're streaming from the 23rd all the way up to the 26th, Boxing Day. The 27th we are taking a day off. On the 27th we are taking a day off. because on the 27th we're going to a party, and unfortunately going to a party in the UK means that we are going to be drinking in what is normally our beginning of the workday, and I'm going to be drinking heavily because it's going to be a big Christmas birthday celebration thing. So that means that there won't be any streams on the 27th at all because I'm going to be out of it. Then from the 28th until the 4th, we are going to do another string of one-shots until we have done 40. On New Year's Eve, we're going to be streaming around the clock. We're going to do the whole... Alice is going to DM one, I'm going to DM one, other people are going to DM one. When I'm not in a game, I'll probably grab a little bit of rest, maybe. Alice will grab a little bit of rest. There'll be a couple of hours between. Do a drunk D&D stream? I'm not keen. I'm not keen on doing drunk D&D streams. Not so much. I really like to promote responsible drinking. And honestly... I mean, I've done a drunk stream before. And it was fun. But I didn't like monetizing that vice. And that's exactly what will happen. If we do a drunk stream, people will donate to see shots, and it will just be a mess, and it won't be responsible, and it won't be a good example to anyone. Mad Rogue, thank you so much for that subscription. I wonder if I should change my heart to the shield, you know, so I can outline the shield. Let's go this way a little bit. Yeah. Understandable. Yeah, you know. Because that's exactly what happened. It'll become a monetizable thing. It will. It naturally gravitates to that. Naturally gravitates to that. It naturally gravitates to, well, hey, we've got an easy way to make money here. We'll just donate per shot. I'm not keen. You know, if you want to have a drink, have a drink. But don't feel like you should. And don't, you know... Should make an emote that is a shield over your heart. I finally got a job and came across some money. Well, thank you so much for the subscription. That's great. Or a heart with the imagery from the shield. Yeah. Well, I mean, was saying this like I'm going to come up with it. Essentially, eventually when we hit partner, and as I said earlier in the stream, I think I might apply. Just anyway. Because, you know, we do a lot of hours, so it's probably more difficult to get the average numbers up, and if they respond and their feedback is just, hey, get your viewer numbers up and we'll consider it, then fine, you know, great. But I'd be very interested to see their feedback anyway, you know, because I am building a community. I am managing somehow, because of you beautiful people, to do this full time. So, you know, I've got a feeling that it is something that is worth partnering with right now. I'm investing in the future. I've got a bigger picture image. I've got direction to go, you know. It's not... This isn't a short-term thing. This is going to be a journey. And it could be worth it. But I'd be interested to see what their feedback is about the way I've been building community and stuff like that. Because that's what I'd include in my thing. I'd probably just give pretty much raw facts in my first application. I won't... I'm a wordsmith. Christ, I only got into uni because of my I've forgotten what it is called. The thing that you send in when you go to uni, you know, you send in a letter first saying why you should go. And yeah, I'll just apply. I'll just see what they say. Because I'd be interested in having that feedback. I'll just give them the facts. I won't put any spin on it. I'll just give them the raw facts, how much streaming I do, how many people stick around, how many people are supporting, how many sponsors I've garnered, and all that sort of stuff. And I'll see what they say. I'll see what they say, you know? And if they want to... No, it's not an essay. It's like a... There's a special name for it. What's it called? I'm going to Google it. Not university, yep. There's a word for it. There's a word for it, and I can't remember what it is. Call it the application letter. The application letter. personal statement, I guess. The personal statement. Yeah, personal statement is what they're calling it on UCAS these days, so that's what I'll go with. The personal statement. That's basically the only reason I got into uni. I didn't have the grades. And when I went to uni, I then got a first-class degree. I don't use it, but I did. Unfortunately, industry is really, really tough on creative minds, and no one appreciates a degree because they've got experience, and experience is worth more than a degree, apparently, despite how much degrees cost in this day and age. But we're getting into a different thing there altogether. A different thing altogether. So I'm going to veer away from that. I'm going to take a hard left. But yeah. I don't want to use any of that wordsmith ability when I go for the partnership. I don't want to use the gift of the gab or something like that to get into something. I just want to give them the facts, see what they say, and then use that to develop the channel. I will always be developing this channel, by the way, guys. If you think this is it, if you think that, hey, the channel is the channel and, you know, that's the way it goes, if it's not obvious to you already, I'll always be rethinking the Wild Magic Surges. I'll always be asking the questions. I'll always be questioning whether we should have the bad donations. I'll always be trying to make things better. I'll always be testing out new break systems. I'll always be testing out new ways to improve the safety system. I'll always be testing new styles of telling stories. I'll always be testing new ways of doing my overlays. All of that stuff. I'll always be doing it. It's always going to get better. And I'll always be researching how it gets better as well. And sometimes that research might lead to temporary dips in improvement. I.e., it might not improve, it might get worse, but that is all in the nature of a test. You know? I'm an engineer at heart. What about a piece of a puzzle for the donation? I don't know what you mean. I have thought about doing bricks somewhere. Like setting up a wall of bricks, like on one of these digital bricks sort of thing, and you could literally be one of the building blocks of the academy, you know? So that I could write your name on a brick, and you could be one of the foundations of the academy. I'm eating a mince pie. It's amazing. I love Christmas. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see what you're saying. This is a cool trout. What's this? Undaunted. Kind of spooky. I'm making you hungry. Well, eat something then, baby. Not my chocolate. It's got that piano kind of style stuff, so what I'm thinking. Should be somewhere near the bottom. So what I'm thinking. Undaunted. What I'm thinking for layering with that track is and let's add that as well. That'll do, just for the idea. So what I'm thinking with that track that we just heard, okay. First of all, we've got our background, right? Yep. If you thought about having a diversity weekend or something to that effect, well, Wild Engineer, it's interesting. The main wall that I've hit when trying to get diversity onto the stream, especially when it comes to race, I'm afraid to say, is that I am a white guy. And quite often, you'll all know that I reach out to a lot of people. I reach out all the time to people about coming to play games. Unfortunately, it's not very often that people of diverse races get back to me unless they are already in the TTRPG scene. So honestly, building diversity in race is one of the things that I struggle with most. I do my best. I play the cards I've got as often as I can. And I love the diversity of storytelling that people bring to the channel when they do come. It's amazing. But quite often, it's difficult for me to recruit people because of, I guess, the way I am. Maybe it's my opener, you know, but I always use the same opener on everyone. My opening is, oh hi, would you be interested in coming to play a streamed TTRPG game on my channel sometime? I send that to everyone. That is my thing. Maybe we could develop that. If you guys can think of a better way for me to ask people if they want to come and play a game, let me know. But it is something I would consider. It's something I'd support. It's something I'd love to do. But anyway, I was talking about building, right? So we've got this spooky background in the background. Let's turn it up a little bit so we can all hear it. Now, how about if we have a little bit of this going on? A little bit of piano. Now we're building tension. Building tension nicely. But a little bit of this. Oh, spooky. Oh, that's spooky. Building lots of tension. And now, we cut away from that. We go to this. Oh. We found the spooky boss. Oh god, we found the spooky boss, everyone. That's what we've just found today, is we found the Undaunted thing. That's a cool thing that we've done right there. Anyway. Let's get rid of Graveyard, otherwise everything will feel spooky again, and just start shuffle playing again. You need to advertise what is great about this place. That's the thing though, I don't want it to look too much like an automated message, because I do type it out to every single person. That is something I could potentially automate. You know, everything Smart Master, we're always changing, always trying to make things better. Always. We like change here. We like change here. Down on Creed's farm, from the day we moved from the hoe to the plow, we realized that change was the core of this here economy. So we've been embracing change and supporting change every way that we can since that time. Last season we bought our third combine harvester, which feeds automatically into a Sorry. Right now I'm looking to see if anything is open for a full English. Well, it is 6 AM, so there's bound to be something soon. Yeah. It was a good bit. Would you be willing to come? Yeah. Would you be willing to come on a streamed game in an open, safe space where trolls, etc., are not welcome? Maybe. Maybe a bit more formal for the invites. You lay out what will happen and when to appear. Okay. So let's try them. Let's try it. Okay, everyone, blank your minds for a second. Let's say you received this. Don't want to be too formal. Don't want to be too formal. Oh hi. Or should we go really, really formal? To hear where that farmer was going. Rene's brought one student to the class. Oh, hi! Definitely, Wild Engineer. I would love to hear your perspective on it. Please, please, please send me a DM. I would love to have more conversation about that. And if you'd rather go to DM, that is just fine. I might not get back to you straight away. I've got about 10 sitting over there since I started streaming. But I would love to have the conversation with you. Dear personage, good afternoon. No. Good day. No. Oh, hi. My name is Scraticus, the headmaster of the Scraticus Academy, an institution built from the ground up to be a safe space for all TTRPG gamers. We strive to keep our alumni diverse and inclusive. We are champions of the safety system. Which will be used in abundance should you wish to accept your invitation to... Now, hang on a minute. Should you wish to accept your invitation to enroll at the college of your choice. I look forward to hearing from you. Headmaster Scraticus. I've gone a bit too formal there. Just a little bit. Save the microwave, save Eden. I wonder if the formality comes off a little white savior-like. I'd run it past some diverse members of our community and see what they have to say. It's not really a standing... I'm not really standing out and informed enough to comment. That's half of my problem. That was a joke, by the way, guys. That's not what I'm actually going to do. That's just my... That was actually Theophilus. Theophilus Voldegrave. I have been studying now for over 10 years. It's exactly silly enough. Very good, but very formal. Yeah, no. That was a joke. That is a joke. What I'm thinking is, oh hi. Would you be interested in coming to play a streamed TTRPG over on my channel sometime? I have been striving to build a safe, inclusive space for new and newer gamers, and would love for you to be a part of it. Theophilus Voldegrave is an old character. Describe the motto first, then ask if they'd like to be part of it. Let's evoke emotions. When you say the motto, do you mean like the safe the safe stuff? Oh, where will you be DMing me? Oh, there you go. I see. Thank you for that insight. That's true, but then similarly so with D&D. Alice, I would love a cup of tea. Breakfast after this? I mean, do you know what? Hell, this stream didn't, but our last two streams both did really well on the stream goals, so why not? Let's treat ourselves, eh? We're having finales, why don't we go and take ourselves for a little treat? Huh? I can talk to you about Wizards and Wardrobes this afternoon and what I'm thinking. Treat yourself. Well, this is the thing. We haven't been doing it much recently because, you know, last month we didn't hit goal by about 25% across everything. In the Discord, I did put in the channel about the Academy funds, the Academy funds thing, which is open to everyone. I was holding off because I didn't want to. I don't like to post negativity. You know, I always like this to be a place of positivity, always. But eventually, I did. Make a post about not reaching our goals, and you know it's difficult, and I understand why. It's Christmas time, you know, people want to go and buy things that people can see and people can buy, and I must admit I have seen an increase in the amount of merch sales, but let's put it this way: if you donate 10 quid to me, I get £9.50. If you Patreon to me 10 quid, I'll get £9.50. If you sub to me for 10 quid, I'll get a fiver, and if you use bits to pay me 10 quid, I'll get 10 quid, but you'll probably pay 14 quid. So everything was kind of down. The merch, that was where I was going to at that point. The merch, if you give me a tenner, I'll pick up about 2 quid. So the merch, you get something, and I love people wearing the merch because it gets the shield out there. And hell, I was walking around Dragonmeet this year, and people weren't recognizing my ugly mug, they were recognizing this. You know? So, you know, wearing the merch works. And I appreciate all of you that do and all of you that can. Yeah, you saying this is why I switched to donating directly to you. Thank you very much, darling. Yeah, it's true. I mean, don't get me wrong, support Twitch. Do support Twitch. They're also making this all possible, okay? So it is good to sub, it is good to use bits. But if you specifically want to support me, there are other ways you can do it. I'm just giving facts. But yeah. So, I've seen an increase in merch because people get something in their hands that they can wear. But, you know, it's been a tougher month. You thought of using that new favoured chatter badge for Patreon donators? Ooh, no, I hadn't. But what we do have for Patreons at the moment is we have the second link in this command here. In the second link at the bottom, the second one, you can activate in-stream alerts like the this person is now following and the, you know, this person is now subscribed. You can now get this Patreon just subbed today for this much, or this Patreon has been a $5 Patreon for 4 months, or whatever else. So if you are a Patreon and you want some recognition, click on that second link. It's very, very easy. Very easy. It's like 2 clicks. Takes you to a website. You click link. You're linked. Very easy. Yeah. This has been a good chat, you guys. Oh, there's no music. That's why everything seems quiet. Because the music stopped working again. Roll20's being funny. Anyone else have this where you have to like stop and play Roll20 like 6 times until it starts working again? Come on, Roll20, you can do this. I think it's something to do with the playlist, because if I go and click on an individual track... Nope, it's Roll20. Roll20 has stopped working. Roll20 has exited the building. Oh, there we go. It's back. Thank you, darling. Ah, they did do an update on Roll20 today? Yeah. Thank you, we made them this week. Oh, the finale is going to be so good. So, what have we got this week? Tomorrow, we've got Wizards and Wardrobes finale. That's going to be incredible. That's going to be incredible. We've got the 7th Sea finale. And then we've got the Curse of Strahd finale. That's 2 streams that I'm DMing, and I am so ready to mess things up. Kelly, it's going to be great tomorrow. I can't wait. Then on Wednesday, we've got the last one-shot wonders. Then we've got the last midweek modules. And then we've got the finale of Eden. I don't know, Alice is going to be taking names. Then on Thursday, we've got the Argo 37 finale. We've got Katie's Monster Hearts finale. And then at the very end, we've got Little Cup of Joe's finale. And she was all like, oh, last week will be the finale. Next week will be a... This next week, it will be... This next week, it will be, it'll be mainly epilogue. And then at the end of the session last week, she's like, boom! Boom! Here's the boss fight. You all thought you were just going to have a little fight. No! Next week is the boss fight. You've used all your health. You've used all your potions. Good! Boss fight! Ha! Final Fantasy VII, you didn't level hard enough. That's how I felt. And I loved it. I am so happy. If we go into that fight where we are with nothing, with not a single thing done to us, if we go in our current health and everything else, I will be so happy. I want Jess to take names, you know? I'm trying to look in the thing at the hairs on my face as if the resolution of the camera can pick up an individual hair. Not ready for Eden, but also can't wait for Eden. Renee does so much, guys. If you haven't, like, Renee, what's your thing called again? It's like Radian.com, right? It's like... Renee recently became a freelancer. She writes articles for us. She does social media support for people. She's fantastic. Please go and check out her website. Go and support her in any way you can. Renee, if you've got a Patreon or anything else, link it now. Guys, please support her. Okay? I know I'm sitting here crying out for support, but at the same time, support Renee. Renee! Remember to bring the cake. I know this one as well. This is my Final Fantasy VII music. Oh, that dice I rolled earlier, it landed on a 20. Ha! The spirit of Johnny. Yeah. I've got it again. Every now and again, you'll see me on stream playing with my nose. I'm not picking my nose. There is a hair. There is a cat hair on my nose. And no matter how much I try... Got it. I have a cake. I've been stress eating already. We're only talking about the stream. Yeah, and then Friday we've got the finale of Greyhawk. And if you like in-game PvP... Okay, potential spoilers. Take your headphones out now if you don't want spoilers about our Uprising in the Perrinlands campaign. But if you have currently not got any intention of watching it, or if you don't think you'll have time or anything else, then you can listen to this. Where we left off last session. Okay, so we have 4 characters. One is a goblin bard, the other one is a human fighter. The human fighter is looking for their son that's gone missing. There's been an orphanage in town that's been shipping kids away, and one of them is his son. His son has gone missing. He's not happy. We have a wizard who is mainly inquisitive and just wants to solve problems. She's intrigued about the whole orphanage thing. She's wondering how they're pulling it off and everything. And then we have the paladin. Now the paladin is the one that I was talking about earlier that died and came back as a vampire. At the end of last session, the vampire spent 40 minutes explaining to the wizard how, you know, becoming a vampire would be a good thing. Okay? Now, at the end of last session, she had bitten the wizard, okay, which would make the wizard into a thrall. But to make them into a full vampire, you need to do this whole ritual thing and actually do it with blood and all of that sort of stuff, okay? All you need to do, but you need to collect the blood, okay? The vampire says. I can't collect the blood, you need to collect the blood. And look, there's one of the kids here that I've been feeding off. Use the kid. Okay? It's dark. Give me an O on that, everyone. It's dark. If anyone's got any ends, I'll stop now. But essentially, the paladin takes hold of this child. The child looks up to it with, like, you know, puppy dog eyes, like, and she's like, oh, I can't have it, like, looking at me at least. And she knocks it out. Okay, so she just casts sleep, right? At that moment, I have the fighter and the goblin burst into the room. The wizard is laying, you know, naked on a table, covered in a blanket, with, you know, ready to have runes and stuff all over her. The vampire and the now paladin vampire are standing there. The vampire's just knocked out the kid. And the fighter says, what are you doing with my son? That's where we left last week. This little smile is a smile of me appreciating how evil I am. Sometimes I have to take a moment to just, you know, accept it. When the stream's caught up, give it a moment. When the stream's caught up, let's tell Taylor that it's okay. I'll let you guys do it, because if I do it, he might come in on the tail end of that. I can see what inspired Adam in Eden. Should be okay with the delay now. So yeah, that's where I've left that campaign. What do you guys think? Do you think that's a good setup for a finale? Does that seem like a good thing? I'm intrigued to hear what you all think. Are we only playing one song at a time now, Roll20? No, you just don't know to play some songs. Maybe certain songs Certain songs just aren't working. It seems we can only have... Oh, this one works. Yes. Tee. I'm glad you guys enjoy it. It's going to be a hell of a finale. Like I say, that one's over on the Greyhawk channel. It's going to be fantastic. Lawful evil is always the right type of evil. That's the other thing as well. I will say this isn't spoilers. This isn't spoilers. I'll word it so it's not spoilers. I can tell you that the paladin is over vengeance. And I'll also tell you that everything that I have done somehow seems to be within the oaths. So they're not even an oath breaker. Well, let's see. We are looking at just under 12 hours until the finale. Until the Wizards and Wardrobes finale. Tee hee. Well, like I say, that one's over on the Greyhawk channel. I'll give you a link now. You guys can go and pop them a follow now. And not the Greyhawk channel. It's getting a bit Christmassy. It's the Greyhawk channel, not the Greyhawk channel. Go and check out the Greyhawk channel. Pop them a follow now. I'll be streaming there on Friday at 1 PM EST. Okay. And I'll do my usual thing. I'll put it on Twitter. I'll put it on Twitter when I'm going live, and it'll be in the Discord. I'll just do social. So it'll be on all of those things. So if you're following me, if you've got your @everyone enabled on Discord, if you're following me on Twitter and you've got notifications on, then there will be a notification for you. The Greyhawk, the Herald, the Angel Sing channel. I mean, it could be a thing. It sounds like a long channel name to me, but who knows? Maybe one of them is. Maybe there is one out there. Let's look for it. Let's look for the Greyhawk, the Herald. The Grey Hawk. We'll just start with Hawk. Channel 1. Oh no, it's Bob the Grey. Oh, the Grey Heart. Very close. No, one video. No. Twitch does tell you sooner than Twitter. Oh, there you go. That's true though. That's because I start the stream before. So I start the timer on the stream. I start the 5-minute timer on the stream. Then I go to Twitter and I write the tweet there. Then I copy the tweet and I put the tweet into Nightbot. And then lastly, I go into Discord and I notify Discord. So... And that still gives you about a minute to 30 seconds, which is enough time to get in, see the advert, and then be ready with us when we start. And maybe you'll miss a little bit of intros, but not a lot usually. Yeah. Discord does tell you last. That's because I posted it last. Literally, what you are seeing there in Tater in the difference between things is that's my posting time. Yeah. Well, you guys, the music keeps cutting out. We've been talking about D&D and TTRPGs for 3 hours now. We've basically done a whole show. So thank you very much. I'm sort of tempted to ask for like a pass around the hat thing if any of you have found this entertaining, but actually I don't want to ask that. You know, feels wrong. But thank you for all of your support today. Let's look around. Let's look at the Streamlabs thing here. We've had Mad Rogue subscribing. You wanted to give your crit to someone else, right? Where did you want that crit to go again? If you could tell me now, that would be great. Berserker Rage also subscribed earlier. Thank you so much. And then we've had a bunch of hosts and raids. Roguish Puck, that was last game, was the last person to donate. So Taylor, you have to sleep. I should think about going and doing some IRL stuff. It looks like me and Alice might be going to get breakfast, which will be lovely. This has been a real fun conversation with you guys, you know. I love just sitting back and chilling with you all. It's been real good. Oh yeah, so good. Let's go. You know what? I'm gonna do something I haven't done for a while. Let's search Dungeons and Dragons. We've got someone live there. Oh no. Hey! That looks like the sort of thing that I want to support. They look inclusive. They look like they're, you know, live playing some D&D. Nat 20 to my fellow rogue, Chaotic Rogue. I will do that for you. Is that the music starting again? Or is that... No, it's an alarm somewhere. Yeah. So, guys, here we are at the end of the channel. At the end of the channel. Here are my social links again. Okay. You can check them all out there. Discord for the community. Twitter to send me a DM and I'll get you a game. And YouTube, you can go and catch up on all the games. If you liked that little hook I gave you there about Uprising in the Perilands, you can see all the way through the season how I've set it up. And I don't plan. So, what you will see is the way that I lay hooks. And I simply rely on my memory to remember what those hooks are. So you'll see me drop hooks. You'll probably see me drop several hooks. I did it in Wizard of Wardrobes last season as well, where I dropped tons and tons of hooks. And the ones that they took, I followed. And the ones that they didn't take, I kept hold of and I used against them later. As any good DM would. So you can see all of that on YouTube. We have a Patreon. If you would like to support the channel, if you'd like to support what we're doing here and what we stand for and everything else, one of the best ways is Patreon. Okay, Nightbot just beat me to it, but there it is. You can subscribe on the Patreon. We get a significant cut of the money. It's nearly as good as PayPal, depending on where you are. In some places it's better. There's a variable fee on Patreon. Next, we have our merch. You can go and check out our merch. I'm not sure if the code is still active, but yesterday, actually, hang on a minute. I can go straight to my Patreon and see if there's any Redbubble and see if there's any codes for you. Let's see how long we've got left on that code. Oh yeah, you've got Robot 25. You've got another 17 hours on that code for 25% off. Site-wide, including my merch. So go and check that out. Thank you, Nightbot. Thank you. Next, we have our sponsors, Bird in the Storm Publishing. Go and check them out. They'll be bringing content to us next year. We'll be working together with it on Q1, and it'll probably be ready by about Q2, I imagine. And also check out their merch. It's wonderful stuff. We also have Mage Hand Press, the finale of the Argo 37 campaign will be on Thursday at 1 PM EST. You should check it out. It uses the Dark Matter, which is a expansion in space for D&D 5e. It's a lot of fun. Go and check it out. Go and buy their alpha. Let me know you bought their alpha. We recently worked out the statistics of how much of a benefit I am to them and how much of a benefit they are to me. So, you know, it's good stuff to have statistics on. If you found them through me, let them know, let me know. You'll help everyone, okay? It helps us all know exactly how much we're all worth. And also, we're not going to do the retweets because we've already got some retweets. So thank you for that, Nightbot, but no need to retweet anymore. So we are going to go over to some streamers called Oh, do we have a thing? We don't even have a raid cry, do we? Because we've just been doing this. Oh hell, everyone just say hi with Scrat Hype. That's all I want. Just, if I can see a whole litany of just hi Scrat Hype, that would be great. That would be great. Okay, so we're going to go to Random Encounter Prod over there. They're playing at a table. It looks real good. Everything looks real cushy over there. It looks nice. So they're playing Disasters and Danger. Sounds good. So let's have hi. Oh, let's evoke emotions. That's a great idea. Alice, beautiful. There you go. There you go, guys. That is going to be our raid cry. Except that needs to be a Scrat 1. Whoops. Try again. Control V, Control V. Let's evoke emotions. Control V, Control V. There you go. That is our raid cry today. Okay, we'll see you all over there, everyone. Keep on evoking emotions, and we'll see you next time. We'll be back in around 11.5 hours for the finale of Wizards and Wardrobes. I might even entitle it Teehee. Keep evoking emotions. We'll see you later. Bye.